Stays crunchy and milk.
Welcome to
Stays crunchy and milk.
Yes, it's Cleveland's longest running podcast and the place to hang with your internet besties. Got questions or comments? The email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy, of course, being spelled with a K.
Stays crunchy.
You can also give us a call or message us at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays crunchy.
We're available anywhere fine podcasts are, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And now,
Stays crunchy.
on with the
Stays
show.
crunchy. Stays crunchy. Stays crunchy.
So,
Stays
weather
crunchy.
permitting,
Stays crunchy. Stays
April
crunchy.
8th of this year, our lovely town will be in the center of totality of a full and real solar eclipse. And I have lived my life through many partial eclipse. Did all the little pinhole camera, look at it through a piece of paper and you can see the shadow so you don't go blind and so forth and so on. But this is my first ever total eclipse. And I was already kind of jazzed. But then I was in a meeting the other day and somebody asked an icebreaker, and my response to the icebreaker was a tale about space and my interest in space and how it's been that way since I was a child and so forth. Which means I had a coworker hit me up later, was like, hey, are you going to be anywhere near the eclipse? Because everybody knows the eclipse is popping here soon. I'm like, not only am I going to be near it, I might as well be all up in it. It's like we are right here this go round. And she was like, you got to make sure you get them glasses because they sold out so quick last time. And it's such an amazing experience. And I truly think you're going to love it and so forth and so on. And I had seen the eclipse glasses at the drug mart down the way from me. And I went there the other day.
Saving you to run around.
And they were sitting there, like I said, they was right there on the counter, right where I could have bought them like you buy yourself a Reese's cup. But when I went back the other day, all gone. Not a one to be had. I was like, oh shit. And that was after I spoke to the lady, and I was like, man, she right. These shits is going fast. So I jumped on Amazon and found a pack at a decent enough price. So I have a pack of Eclipse glasses, but also comes with a little camera thing. You can put that over your phone and take a picture of your camera. And
that's pretty neat.
Or I guess a camera lens if you need to. That's definitely wide enough to fit over. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Xander has a real nice camera, so we might do that. So I have 10 pairs of glasses. I only needed 5 technically. I just needed them for my family and Xander's lady. So I got some extras if y'all need them, and if people in my hood, I guess, need them when we go for the go. But I'm like I said, wildly excited for the eclipse, and I've been reading about it, and people been telling me about it, and so apparently, how it goes down is like it is literally black as night for a few minutes, and like because it's black as night, you can see the stars. They say animals usually shut the fuck up. Like, oh shit, I guess it's nighttime, and so forth. So I'm very excited to experience all this. Like I said, I'm hopeful the weather is good, but also took the Friday and the Monday, and then the Friday before and the Monday that it actually happens off, so that way I can kind of keep track of weather. And if I gotta move, westward bound for a hot second, then I can already be prepared to do that as necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because weather be wild in Ohio. You never know, but. Like I said, I'm super duper pumped about it. And Ant was asking me about it today, and I was like, I was really about to chop it up, and I was like, no, I'm not. I have a whole show that exists to talk about these matters.
Well, my partner is really into space. She likes that kind of shit, and she sent me a link saying that Cuyahoga Valley National Park, about 40 minutes south of Cleveland, is one of the few national parks on the totality path. The park's isolation and benches make one perfect view site. So that's
which park is that?
Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
The Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
So that's where we'll probably be.
So I whipped up, went hunting, of course, And here's the article from Cleveland.com. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to give you, they have a list of spots to go kick it at for the Eclipse. The Baseball Heritage Museum is doing an event. Bookhouse Brewing is doing an event. And basically, we can hold about 100 people, and as long as you buy a beer, you straight. Cleveland Museum of Natural History has an event going on just over there in General and Wade Oval. Tickets are $5 to $15 if you want to do that. The Great Lakes Science Center has a whole full weekend going from the 6th through the 8th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. They got it going on, and it's free to get in there. Music Box, which is, I think, a restaurant, right? Yeah, with a stunning view of downtown Cleveland and the Cuyahoga River. The Music Box will be a hotspot on April 8th. The party will feature a show by the Sunrise Joneses. Tickets also include open bar, grand buffet, dancing, and a pair of solar eclipse glasses. Tickets are $150 for that one, so that one's kind of popping. Nuevo Modern Mexican, you know where that's at over there by Buenovich Park. We used to catch Pokemon over there, behind the Rock Hall. Is having an event. The event is free. Purchases and donations are appreciated. Akron Art Museum is doing an event free. You know what I'm saying? Just come through. Fairlawn Park is doing an event free. And Eclipse glasses will be provided while supplies last. Avon has an event going at the Lake Erie Crusher Stadium. And those tickets are $30. That's in conjunction with, I believe, Channel 19. So they're doing the thing out there. Railroad Brewing Company, also in Avon, is doing an event, $25, $25 to $300. Sweet jeez, what you charge me $300 for? So
no
Avon Lake got popping
room.
because Avon Lake, it has been, I guess, discovered or measured out, will be in the literal center of totality. So they is trying to set it off. Yes, at the center line of totality for the upcoming eclipse, making sure to. So Avon Lake is making sure to bring the heat, is what this Cleveland magazine says. Starting a day early, they're going to be hosting an Eclipse 5K. On April 8th, they're going to be doing a thing at their high school stadium, which is a nice stadium. I've been there before. Food trucks, vendors, Eclipse glasses, merchandise, a play area for the kids, music from audiophile. And another band called Follow the Sun. Local astronomers and eclipse experts will also be on site to make this event equally educational and fun. Coming from out of town, the city has spots for RVs and campers available to reserve, so you can make Avon Lake your home away from home for the day. Watch party tickets are $15 to $25. And like I said, that's in Avon Lake. And Vanessa was talking about, oh, we should go over there. We can go to Secret Beach. I'm like, everybody's going to be in Avon. There's no point in us trying to drive into Avon and not get to see this brief event. Barberson got things going. Bay Village got a joint going. Berea, Berlin Heights, Brunswick, Chardon, Columbia Station, Copley, Euclid, Fairport Harbor, Geneva on the Lake. Geneva on the Lake got a popping at the Cove nightclub. They don't seem to have any prices, but no registration required. You can just show up at Geneva on the Lake. And I like going to Geneva on the Lake. That kind of might be a vibe. Yeah, go to the beach out there in Geneva because ain't nobody really going over there.
Yeah, but Geneva does get pretty congested really quickly. Like even if it's a light vibe, it's still busy.
Yeah. Lakewood Beck Art Center is doing an event. Lorraine, Bascule Brewery, Black River Landing, Lyndhurst, Madison, Medina, Menor, Port Clinton, Sandusky, Streetsboro, Wakeman, Westlake, Willoughby. Everybody got a little something going on. So that's exciting. I simply hope for good weather so we can actually, experience it proper here at home. And basically, it's the sun and the moon. You can just look up, and as long as the trees ain't blocking your path, you should be like, there it is. Something I read about, because of course I've been on this shit since is the way this works is just super unique to us as Earthlings. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun. And the sun is 400% distance away. So it ends up, that's why the moon can cross over and block the whole damn sun out, just because of celestial dumb luck. And I think that's sick and like super dope, or like, I don't know, man. The very idea was very cool, and I'm as you can hear, I'm super excited about it. But then I saw a football player don't believe in planets today, and I don't know what to do with any of this shit at this point. I said that to y'all in the IG chat.
Yeah, I seen that.
He ain't wrong.
Nah.
He is literally wrong. Some shit is like, just look up, my guy. What do you think is going on there? Man, I bet you can play football real good, though. Probably. But
he's already made. He's probably already made more NIL money than we'll ever make in our lifetimes.
Hey, again, I always will put respect on his name. I'm not gonna respect his intellect. I'll tell you that. So that's what's up with that. Are the boys excited? Box, are you at all excited for this? Do you not give a fuck at all? Or are you like, I'll be in the house or whatever, man?
Not to sound negative, but I don't give a shit at all.
And
it's not because I think it's not like I think it's stupid or anything like that. I just don't care. And so, like, I want people who are excited to enjoy it and have a good time and whatever, but, like, I really don't care.
Fair.
I'm not, like, super excited about it, but at the same time, it's been something I've been aware about, and I don't think the boys know about it. I don't think we really discussed it. Maybe it'll be something we can discuss over either over breakfast tomorrow or just I guess just a normal conversation soon.
Yeah,
because we still in Black History mode in the house still. So
I remember going through something like this back when I was in elementary school, and I remember like everyone getting so hype about it, and them having us build little like shadow boxes and shit.
Yeah,
and then
little pinhole cameras.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, it was there and over, and not, like to me, it seemed like nothing even happened, and so I don't know if that experience like just made it whatever for me, but like, yeah, like I know like I think the Guardians home opener is at the same. It's like it's going to be going down when the Eclipse happens or whatever. But outside of that, like, I mean, I'm not even going to be there, so. Like for all I know, I'll be working, and it won't even be anything to me.
It's truly a once in a lifetime event. I mean, I guess unless you go flying around the planet to chase them, which some people do. The last total eclipse in the great state of Ohio, like, you know what I'm saying, one where like the moon fully blocked the sun, was in 1806. It's just not something that comes around often, and so I'm like, I'm hyped.
The last eclipse that I remember getting excited about was the one of the heart.
Can you tell me the band who sings that song?
Isn't it Meatloaf and some woman or something? Oh no, that's I'll do anything for love. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Total Eclipse. I feel like I should know this, but I don't.
That's we're seeing your joke making contract.
I mean, I like the song. I just don't know who sings it.
It's Bonnie Tyler.
I wouldn't have never guessed that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Total
immediate joke regret.
I don't regret the joke because
that's
the joke
not what your
was solid.
face said.
It's T trying to fucking fact check me that ruined the joke.
I mean, hey, if you laughed at that joke and was fine with it, you just let my man know. Don't worry about me asking questions. Questions have to be asked.
That's like you joke and raised your hand in class, and then she was like, "So what's the answer?" I
mean, I clearly knew the fucking song just because I didn't know the singer.
Well, get up here and show your work.
That doesn't invalidate the eclipse
of the heart.
Any of them. They're all valid.
All eclipses matter.
Unless there really aren't planets, then these eclipses are all just figments of our imagination.
I mean, in this case, it is a moon, so not a planet at all. But I did see an image.
But there won't be any moons if we don't have planets.
Well,
it's all relative.
Correct. I just saw they had an image of an eclipse on Mars from a few weeks back. And what's funny about that, of course, Mars has 2 potato-sized moons. They're basically just captured asteroids. Not really. I mean, they're moons in the fact that they are satellites that float around the planet of Mars. Of Phobos, and I forgot what the other one is called. And again, potato-looking ass shapes, but their moon passed in front of the sun, which counts as a total eclipse. But of course, it doesn't really obfuscate. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't block the sun. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to not go for the high word and just go for the regular word. Didn't block the sun, but you can see the rock floating in front of the sun. I think that's pretty fucking dope. Eclipses, man. I love it. I wonder how they work on like the gas giants, because they're so big and their moons are just like little pebbles compared to the size of those planets. But still, space, y'all. I'm really into it. But let's get to it. Let's see if I can do these lyrics some justice. Whilst I'm at it. Pump the bass in the trunk, shit rattle like a baby hand. Except this toy cost $80,000. And I'm crazy tan from all the places that I've been. Just from writing words with a pen. Tell the pilot land the plane on Roosevelt, Maine. Put a jacuzzi on the 7 train and let John Coltrane play with that cocaine face. I know your crabs from the Old Bay taste. The brass band was 7 pieces. My bitch's name is Peaches. We got twin Mac 11s with the features. Shit, you barely got sneaker money. So much dick in they mouths, that's why these motherfuckers speaking funny. You need to speak clearly, dear, because I can't hear you. You need to speak clearly, dear, because I can't hear you. It's Route the Harley inside the sunset. Hey, welcome to it. It's episode 529. But it ain't no mutual funds going on here. I'm your host, Interstate 713. Joined as always my best friend. It's the 216's own Tatum.
Good evening.
And for my last trick, and of course, it's the big homie Lunchbox 2099.
Turn around, bright eyes.
See, it just all works. It comes back around. The one doesn't work without the setup before all of that. Every now and then. Regular show this week, you know what I'm saying? Just chill vibes, a couple of news stories, slim battles,
more than ever.
so forth and so on. And we'll get to it. So I put both my stories from the scene this week. First one, a little more, I guess, a little more gravity to it, but nothing. It's not bad news in my thought process. You know what? Technically, this is from my girl Megan here at the Ohio Capital Journal. So we're going to click that link and give her the view on her proper, on the page that this actually comes from. No offense to the people seeing, but I always like to give the Ohio Capital Journal the shine it deserves. In fact, I might change that link later. Megan here near the bottom, like I said, Ohio Capital Journal. More than 48,618 year-olds are registered to vote in Ohio, a 35% increase from late August. Ohio has seen a recent spike in young voter registration. More than 48,618 year-olds are registered to vote in Ohio as of January 6th, a 35% increase compared to late August, according to data analyzed by Civics Center, a nonpartisan organization trying to increase voter registration. What we typically see is that registration rates, especially for youngest voters, go up very significantly when young people become more aware of elections in which their votes will matter, said Laura Brill, founder and CEO of Civics Center. 2024 is going to be a big election year between the presidential election, Ohio's U.S. Senate race, a potential anti-gerrymandering amendment proposal, 3 Ohio Supreme Court races, and the Ohio House of Representatives elections. October 7th is the deadline to register to vote for the November 5th general election. Early voting for the March 19th primary started Wednesday, and the deadline to register to vote was Tuesday. When young people are registered, they tend to turn out in high rates when they know that their votes will make a difference, Brill said. I think a lot of it depends on whether the candidates and parties are really getting the word out to young people about what's at stake. Ohio's November 2023 election enshrined abortion rights in the state constitution and legalized recreational marijuana. There are multiple very high-profile elections going on in Ohio, Brill said. It provided a concentrated deadline for people to focus on and to get registered. However, there's still a long way to go getting young people registered to vote. More than 100,000 18-year-olds in Ohio remain unregistered to vote as of January, according to the Civics Center. Buckeyes for Voting Rights. Ohio State University senior Cassie Moore helped launch Buckeyes for Voting Rights, a nonpartisan organization that helps students register to vote. We just want every student at Ohio State that's eligible to vote to be able to cast their ballot comfortably and easily, said Moore, who is studying political science and public affairs. She said she started helping people register to vote back when she was a senior at Westerville North High School, just north of Columbus. I realized that a lot of 17 to 18-year-olds want to register to vote, but they don't register to vote if nobody presents them with the opportunity, Moore said. If nobody helps guide them through the process and helps them fill out the form and everything, then it's something that people forget about. Nearly 90% of Ohio State students were registered to vote for the 2020 presidential election, and 75% of the students voted in that election, according to the Institute for Democracy and Higher Education. The hope is, since voting is a habitual process, that we can get them engaged to talk about what the issues that matter to them, Moore said. And then once we get them engaged, then hopefully we can make them a lifelong voter. Ohio's voter ID law. A law went into effect last year that makes it harder for out-of-state college students to vote in Ohio. Under the new law, Ohioans must show a photo ID in order to vote, meaning an unexpired Ohio driver's license, a state ID card, U.S. passport, or military card. A college or university ID does not count as a photo ID. Out-of-state college students who want to vote in Ohio must get a state-issued ID card, but that invalidates their driver's license in another state. Because of this, Moore is concerned that it will prevent some people from being able to vote, especially since Ohio State has more than 12,000 out-of-state students. I think this is going to put a huge strain on the County Board of Elections office, she said. This photo ID law is going to create a lot of chaos in November. Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Tennessee, and Wisconsin are all strict photo ID states, according to the National Conference of State Legislators. The youth is out to vote. And they came out strong in 2020, and it seems like that we're going to get a repeat of them coming out to vote here again in 2024. And I respect that. I'm glad the young folk ain't bullshitting and getting out here to vote. That's it. I'll leave it at that and be done with that. This one I think is fun. It's very long, so I'm definitely not going to read you the whole thing. I just think it's a pretty fun article. It's Eric Sandy again from Cleveland. How to grow actually really good weed in your backyard this summer. Issue 2 passed in Ohio, and now you want to grow your own stash? So where do you begin? This morning, after Ohio voters, After Ohio voters passed issue 2 last fall, 2 middle-aged men showed up at Tillith Soils warehouse on Sinclair Ave in Cleveland. They arrived within 5 minutes of each other. In fact, they were neighbors and knew each other. As those 2 men walked past heaps of packaged soil blends, taking in the sites in the city's most robust composting operation, they sheepishly explained they were looking for soil for their indoor tomato plants. Cue the awkward pause. Nathan Rutz likes telling this story. He's the director of soil at Tillith, and he says this moment is a good example of the surge of interest in cannabis that the state is about to experience. As soon as the last of this mild winter frost burns off, spring planting season will no doubt see thousands of cannabis plants sprouting from the window boxes of Toledo to the riverside flats of Megas County. A lot of that weed will be bunk. Most of it will be serviceable and downright enjoyable. Some of it will even be top-tier sticky icky kind bud. The thrill of the season is going to be finding out what it takes to grow good weed. As the plant expresses its own chemical wonders, you too will learn a few things about what kind of gardener you are. We're here to sort fact from myth, which in the cannabis scene is no small task. So we spoke with a few longtime home growers to gather tips and tricks for your own plants this summer. You know, it's not as simple as just tossing a bag of seeds in some lead-ridden old Brooklyn backyard dirt and hoping for fat nugs in the fall. Cannabis is an easy plant to grow, relatively speaking, but you have to know what you're doing. We all know that you let your poor pothos plant wither away and die over the winter. You need help, seriously. Homegrown in Ohio is here to stay, Max says. He's been growing cannabis for years and held stints as a teacher at the Cleveland School of Cannabis. He goes by Professor Bluntstash on Instagram, along with comrades Jake and Chris. He took some time to explain to Scene how to grow some nice plants in our fine Northeast Ohio climate. We're mainly just interested in smoking the stuff and watching kids in the hall, but they were kind enough to articulate the ergonomic complexities of this biological wonder. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down. Like I said, this is a long article. I just want to know sourcing primogenetics. Think of your favorite strain or cultivar if you like to use the proper ergonomic term. What kind of cannabis really knocks your socks off? Maybe it was Do-si-dos that finally relieved your Sunday scaries. Maybe it was green crack that got you green crack. You really got to quit using crack as I don't like it. Anyway, they got you back in the mood to pick up the guitar and write some songs and feel creatively refreshed. Maybe you just like to pick up. Maybe you just like those made up those names. You can Google Do-si-do seeds, or better yet, Do-si-do's feminized autoflower seeds, and begin your research. Grow the kind of genetic profile that you will want to consume to share. With a little homework, you can pinpoint the breeder behind your favorite strains. Perhaps you can even find a local breeder who can set you up with genetics that generally have the profile you want. Try reaching out via DM on IG. But know that cannabis still carries some degree of stigma. Breeders are often interested in talking about their work, but doing so openly on social media can be a faux pas. Do what you can to scrutinize the breeder's website if you have one. Basically, you got to go get you some good seeds, and you got to get the probably some decent dirt and water and all that good stuff. I had never thought about in this now legal realm growing my own weed, but I mean, I grow tomatoes every year. We grew peppers this past year. They turned out pretty good.
I never thought about growing weed, but I do want a composter. Like I know, occasionally, maybe giving them out for free. But I do want a composter, like that. I don't know, strengthen some dirt for growing something else down the road. Like put eggshells and potato peels.
Yeah, I literally have if the dirt on my porch that we grew the plants in is still out there, and it's like eggshells and some carrots. Basically, just some. I've been trying to make better dirt. Lee held on to the dirt from the poinsettias because he was like, I think it's gonna be good dirt to use to plant some stuff in. So we got all kinds of halfway decent dirt here, but I would probably think, and I mean, if you go dig into that article, you probably need the dirt you'd probably use to grow plant food in, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, your monstera or your cactus or something like that. You probably need food grade dirt if you're going to be growing weed to smoke on. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe you do need plant-based dirt, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll have to look into it. But that's his dad is super excited to be able to grow it. And I would not doubt he already has ordered some seeds and is on his way because he plants all the time. And during the summer, he just loves growing. And then I get literal, not some tomatoes, not some buckets, and not bucket barrel situation of tomatoes and zucchinis and everything else that man grows. Because he loves it. He gets it going. And like I said, all the land back there behind him used to be orchard land. So it grows well every year. I get tons of pears from him every year too and so forth. Far too much.
Does he make
insane amount of stuff he gives me.
Does he make like pear wine or anything like that to compensate?
Nah. He's a super teetotaler, man. Like, but he likes growing things. That's just it. That's the experience. You know what I'm saying? So he enjoys that part of it. Put your mic in. You just seem slightly quiet.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay.
So I think he'll have fun doing that, and maybe he'll give me some pointers in the realm of dirt. Like I said, Lee's been taking horticulture this year as their science class, so they probably know some things about a thing or two as well. So we'll find our way and walk the walk and so forth. So just like I said, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be nifty and to figure it out and see what one must do. Just have some weed on my porch and not care.
I don't know. That redhead might try to come take it.
Oh, I probably would not actually have it on my porch, but also kind of just don't. Like I said, it's not like like I said, it's legal now. It could be procured from anywhere. Although we don't have the means to buy it legally in Ohio, it can be had and not a trouble. So it's not like it's not like I'm keeping trespassers off my land and keeping my crops safe. Like if you stole it, you stole it. And now I don't know. I'll try my hand again next year or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Or in 2 weeks where another bug come up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so. I just like I said, I wasn't that interested into it. Then I'm reading this. I'm like, I'd never thought about it.
Yeah, like
find a nice little mellow, not make me paranoid weed. Cause that's the problem with weed. Weed just I need to find a strain that don't get me annoyed and just its vibes.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll bring critters around. I wonder what kind of critters like weed, because we were growing. We had like a little pepper plant that we had grew, and slowly but surely it was just like little nibbles on the front porch. Because I originally thought that like animals didn't like peppers, but that shit wasn't true.
Y'all got bunnies on y'all side, wild bunnies on your side of town?
We have everything. I have seen every animal that are like you would cross off your bucket list, except for a bear I've seen over here.
Maybe not. Like over the last few years, more and more just the jackrabbits just been around and just out here, like just like you would see any squirrel or pigeon or anything else. So they out here. Yeah, tons of squirrels.
I don't see no pigeons no more. But I was
only downtown.
I was cutting grass, and it was like one of the first cuts of the season. And I'm, going in the lines. And when I go over one path, I see eyeballs looking up at me. And I was like, oh, holy shit. And like, luckily, I didn't go bad. I just uncovered them. And it was like rabbits under there. And like then they hopped
around y'all.
Yeah, no, I just stopped for the day. I was fucking freaked out. And then like one time that was in the front yard. One time I was cutting grass in the backyard, and like I was, just going through the lines, and I get up to where we got like this little section of like plants and flowers and stuff, and like perfectly underneath like a leaf was a doe. And like I was working, and like up until I got to that point, it had moved. Yeah. Does I think real children could take a line from does. No, not does. Fawns. Yeah. This one morning, got up. I'm like, oh, man, why is there a paper bag in the front yard or a bag in the front yard? Let me go get it. Like, neaten up. I go walk up on it, and it's a doe. A fawn just sitting there. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I didn't get too close to it. Just let it be. That fawn sat there for at least 8 more hours. Didn't move out our grass. Like their mom told him to sit there, and it sat there and didn't move for literally all day. And then like when nightfall came, it left. Or dusk.
They of course are built to blend in, so they're not easily stalked down, and so like I said, the one you said in the backyard just kind of blended in. You're like, oh shit, there you are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
because
the one in the front yard you notice, but
those little white flowers that are coming up right now, like look like that, like dirt with little white flowers on them.
Just camo, man. They are. They have evolved for that particular reason, which is why we have so many deer in this region. They had that. Just have a culling over there by you somewhere. Manor or one of them spots over there had the sharpshooters out because they had to clean
That
it
was
up.
my city.
They did in Parma? Not Parma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
Yeah. And like you could sign up to go like clam a carcass.
Wow, that's gross. But I know there in Mentor they did like sanction off some land that you can't touch and like that people can't build on. So at least they're doing stuff like that to try to maintain some of nature here, because like I said, I've seen everything. I've seen foxes, I've seen all types of squirrels, frogs, toads, chipmunks,
salamanders, turtles.
I mean, maybe if I went closer to the creek, it might be some turtles down there, but
voles.
Yeah, like and like I said a couple weeks ago about turkeys, and then they right around the corner they got up a turkey crossing sign, like a turkey's cross here. Be careful.
I have caught on my camera a possum every now and again on my front porch. Like, I'm out here possuming, my guy. It's like, buddy, what are you doing over here?
Yeah, possums are the worst. I accidentally hit one. It's the first time I ever hit it. Well, no, my second time hitting an animal. But I hit a possum. I felt terrible, man. Because they don't move out the way. They don't wiggle faster.
Like, hey man, this is the speed I'm going at. I'm sorry. So that is what they do, and they can't do no better. Oh my gosh. Did y'all see I don't know if y'all so my IG apparently is updated, and I can't mute videos anymore. Instead you can pause them finally. And I don't want to pause the video. I want the video to shut the fuck up. I watch videos mostly in quiet on IG. It's rare I'm trying to hear anything.
No, mine is still with the mute game.
Yeah, see, I enjoy that. That works well. But if you were just in Reels now, at least on mine, you tap the screen, that bitch pauses like on your TikTok, and I'm like, good Lord. Like, or just put me a speaker button on there so I can mute the sound. But they can't help themselves. When they be biting other people's shit, they bite all the way and don't think I should probably innovate in some way, shape, or form that keeps what I do well here. And they don't do that. So that's what's going on with that, man. Oh my gosh. Y'all do anything? I didn't do anything special myself, so don't get it twisted. Anything special this leap day?
I got. Go ahead, Lunch.
I worked and then played Halo.
Okay. Well, I got one pizza at a regular price, and then another pizza for 29 cents from Hungry Howie's.
Oh, sick! What from where?
Hungry Howie's.
Oh, yeah, okay. Word to double H, 2 letters.
Yeah, it was the first time I ever had Hungry Howie's too. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
it was okay. Do I see myself paying past 29 cents for it in the future? Maybe. I don't know.
Gosh, it may have been 20 some odd years since I had Hungry Howie's last. It's been a very long time since the double H was in the building.
It like the crust, they're known for their different flavored crust, and the crust was respectable. It was okay. Since it was my first time going, I got one regular crust pizza, but with I think it was like butter and garlic. And then the other one was a deep dish, vis-a-vis Detroit style. Not too bad. Emery ate 2 pieces. Anthony said 1 is enough.
That is wild because that's usually not how to math. So I'm saying
not usually not. But did he? I think he had some leftover Trader Joe's pizza last night. So I mean, from last night. So when he got home, because the first thing he asked as soon as we get home is, "What you guys have for lunch?" And I think it was the answer was nothing today because I made a late breakfast, which was breakfast. Not what would I say? What would I say those things are? It was like a breakfast quesadilla. Like it was cheese, eggs, turkey bacon, chicken sausage, and a flour tortilla. So we had those after. Did I have a meeting this morning? I don't remember, but like it was around that time. It was like after I got settled in and I was able to do it, I made breakfast.
I was telling Box before we got started. I was like, my head was kind of hurting. I was like, man, did I eat today? I'm like, I know I ate today. I had what? And I finally remembered that Vanessa wanted Jimmy John's. So I was like, give me a beach club. I had that years, probably since we were downtown. Definitely since we worked downtown, and it was so damn good. It was so good. I know it'll never be the same again. So that'd have to be the last time I have a beach club. Probably
never be the same again. Oh man. I'll save it for my but I had the same exact experience.
You had shared with us, so it's like, yeah. So ain't trust it, man. I'll never do this again just because it'll be ruined. So
yeah,
it was perfect. I got I was like, get pickle, and so she got pickle, but she literally got me a pickle. You know, Jimmy John's got pickle, so I was just like, I got my knife and I just sliced it and laid it on the sandwich. Perfect. Beach Club is a little rich when it's got this avocado spread on it. Then it's got like the cheese and the mayo and stuff like that. So it's a bit rich, but the acid of the pickle cuts right through that. Oh, chef's kiss. Jimmy John's Beach Club with pickle. Trust your boy.
Maybe you should. Don't they got the pepper relish there?
Bro, again, I ain't been to Jimmy John's in years. It seemed out of the blue that she wanted to go there, but I was like, okay, you have that.
I used to be a Jimmy's man until for many years I was aware of Jersey Mike's, but I didn't eat it that much. And I was like, I'm gonna get this rosemary parm bread to get my bang for my buck because that sounds delicious. And then one day, I don't know why, but I just got that shit on the regular bread. I'm like, goddamn, why have I been getting this rosemary parm all this time? Because like I was trying to max out my flavor, but I was doing myself a disservice. The regular bread,
dulling the flavor of everything else.
I just feel like it cook up different. I feel like the texture overall is different with the rosemary parm bread. And I've been banging with them ever since. I don't got like 2 free subs since that discovery.
I ain't been to Jersey Mike's forever either. I used to get the buffalo, add some jalapenos. Get a little, extra kick of spice. But again, it's been forever since I've been there. I don't know, man. I'm just, I guess I'm getting real creature of habit in my old age. So I can tell you what I would order at all these places, but I just don't go there no more. You know what I'm saying? Subway is, it's chicken breast on flatbread, spinach, spinach, tomato, black olives, jalapenos, pepper jack, and a little bit of a Southwest sauce if they still got it, or whatever that variation of theme is now.
Used to be the thing just to put on there. Do you feel like, hey, I got olives and pickles at home, or it's just like, what do you feel like? Besides the fact that we work at home now, what's the main reason you feel like you haven't been going to eat those places?
There's been some the quality ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? It just won't be again. Like I said, I know that Jimmy John's ain't never gonna hit like it hit today. So it's not gonna be bothered. Subway, it just be here and there, and so I'm just like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't know why I ain't been to Jersey Mike's. Well, there's just no the nearest Jersey Mike's to me is over in Fairview. So it's a bit of a hike. Not too terrible, but still, there's no real close Jersey Mike's. Yeah. I mean, around the way is Taco Bell, it's McDonald's, it's KFC. I want to try that pizza. What else do I get around the way? But also, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess I'm not cooking a lot, but I do cook, and so that also kind of gets rid of some of the nonsense. Plus, we got a lot of good local restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Beer Engine is around these parts. You know what I'm saying? Melt. Now that we're down to 2 of them, so but and so forth. But town I live in is lousy with restaurants. The pizza we hit up. Little bit, it's it ain't the sit down when they closed. They tore it down. The one over there on 117th and Detroit, they tore that one down. But it's one over on
that had
shopping
to be
center
recently.
over there. Huh?
That had to be recently.
They closed like last June.
Okay.
And I knew it because the guy who used to deliver for us, because we always used to tip him well, was like, I just want to let y'all know, man, we closing in June, man. Y'all always did right by me. I just want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, bro, I'm sorry about that, man. And he showed love and was a good dude. And my pizza always came hot because Vanessa tips too much. And so my pizza would always arrive too sweet and piping hot.
He's like, I'll finish it in the car. Just give it to me.
But it's one over in the shopping center over there in Lorraine and 106. And they make a damn good pizza. Just, I gotta respect it. They make that shit maybe to I don't know, to beyond spec. It's always perfect. It always tastes good. It's always hot. They always super sweet about it. You know what I'm saying? I've had a good experience with everybody who works there. So it's like so random and weird to me that I can have a good pizza experience here in 2024.
The commercial for the KFC cheats just actually aired on the TV behind the monitor here.
They listen. Yeah, I was laughing when the old boy was like, "Chizza, cheese." I'm like, "Nick, it's pizza. Therefore, it is pizza." I mean, this ain't rocket science here, boy. I gotta quit judging that man so harshly. You're doing well in life, doing big things, representing the town I call home, and so I might as well just respect him and his hustle, and not be angry at him for the reasons I'll be angry at him for. But sometimes, man, he gets my goat, and that's just what it is. But let me give you the reins of this very show, Anthony. First up, as always, is Tatum. What, sir, do you have to share with us this week?
I guess can continue on with the food thing, since we didn't really discuss what I brought at hand. Is I was at the Middleburg Taco Bell.
Why you on that side of the globe?
Well, between
I might ask.
Between us, I was over there.
Don't, but we'll figure it out.
Okay. Anywho,
you probably know.
So anyway, I was over there across the street from the Perkins, one of the last Perkins in Ohio as well.
Well, Northeast.
Oh,
Ohio.
that T-bill. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm hungry. I'm out here. I see this Taco Bell out here. And I'm like, they got those new empanadas. Let me try one of those. But I'm like,
Crispinata.
Oh,
I was just talking to
Crispinata.
Box about that.
And I was like, okay. But I was like, I might as well get something, an old favorite, I got a chalupa. No tomatoes. Just because usually those tomatoes usually, I don't know if them bitches come in a bag or whatever. They just don't be sitting right with me. So I got it. I get to the car. I'm like, they both feel the same. So I'm like, let me, I think I ate the Crispinata first. It was fine. Wasn't that great, but it was fine. But I get to the chalupa. I'm like, man, this color look a little off. But I bite into it. Perfect crispness. Perfect amount of fresh lettuce on there. Perfect amount of cheese. Perfect amount of sauce. The chicken was just perfect. This was the best chalupa I've had in 20 years of chalupadom. And I'm like, God damn, this ain't never going to happen again. Because, first of all, I was away. Once I ate the chalupa, I was already away from the store. And I'm like, man, this is the best chalupa I've ever had. Like I said, I've had a lot of decent chalupas over the years, or bad chalupas, because I don't know how many people really order them. To be honest, like,
Mhm.
but that was just like, it was so perfect. I know I'm never gonna have a chalupa that good again.
Had to go to foreign territory.
Yes, and I mean, to be honest, yes, I'm not that way much, but if I order I'm probably ordered from that Taco Bell before, and I probably had a chalupa from there before. Still wasn't that good, and it was fun.
I went to that same Taco Bell about 6 weeks ago because I was out doing like a Pokemon event, and I hadn't had anything to eat, and I was starving, so I figured let me go over here, just grab something, real quick, a couple chicken burritos, whatever. So I get in the drive-thru. I'm at I get to the speaker, and I'm there for a minute, and the girl gets on the speaker, and she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be like a 15-minute wait," and I'm like, "Oh, that's fine." And then I start saying my order, and she goes, "No, it's gonna be a 15-minute wait before we even take your order. The dining room is full of people, and there's only a couple of us in here. We can't do drive-thru orders right now." And so I was like, "Oh, okay," and then I just left. So you're lucky that place was able to bless you with your chalupa of the gods, because they just told me to go fuck myself.
Well, one, I rarely ever go through the drive-thru, like, no matter what. Like, I think when I worked at Wendy's as a kid, like, I know, like, they treat you like a real fuck boy going through the drive-thru, because, like, I remember this one dude. He's like, hey, can I get extra croutons with my salad? And we used to be clowning this dude. And he came through like once a week. It was like, we should clown the fuck out of him and not give him the croutons every time. Because he was like, they croutons, not crotons. So, yeah, I know how it is. Like, I go inside all the time. And it was funny. It was these two kids, and there's like, can we have a cup? Can we have some cups for water? And they blessed them with the cups. And of course, the young lady that was with this young man, just got her a little whatever drink she got. Maybe she got Sprite. Whatever she did it and went on about her biz. This little dude was like fucking playing with the ice machine. He's like, hey, why are you taking my kindness for weakness out here? Like, you see, I gave you the cup and I wasn't, checking on you out here playing in the ice. I felt like I needed to say something, but I stayed in my lane. And I was blessed by having staying in my lane with having the best chalupa I ever had in my life. And what's crazy is, like, I was telling my kids about it. They're like, what is a chalupa? And I'm like, go ask Alexa what a chalupa is. And then, of course, they don't. Alexa or Echo don't fucking brand advertise, so it wasn't saying, oh, your dad got that from Taco Bell. But I seen Mission sells like a chalupa shell. Maybe I need to ride out with one and see if I can recreate it myself, because we often have Taco Tuesdays here at this household.
White people taco night?
No, not white people taco night. Because I mean, we not white, but I'm not white, but I also feel like that's unfair to be like, oh man, you don't do it authentic because you white. Man, fuck that. Tacos is tacos, man. Like, it's put on the earth for you and me. You don't need to be trying to.
I put this in for you and me.
Yeah, you don't need to be trying to be like, oh, you only used a packet and some shell. If that shit wasn't good, it wouldn't be a fucking night for it. And it wouldn't be a whole fucking aisle in a grocery store. Like, they legit got a whole aisle where you can just be like, hey man, you can have crispy and soft, and we got these new lemon lime shells and everything. Like, get off of it. Like, I know probably some white person made up making fun of other white people, but y'all need to fucking chill. Tacos is good, and we don't appreciate that shit. Black and white unite.
Goddamn right.
Okay.
We out here gentrifying tacos, baby.
Yeah, like, yeah, y'all can have them wet ass authentic tacos if you want to. I don't want that red wet taco. Give me a regular
That's
one.
Maria. That's a different type of taco altogether.
It's a different type of taco that I don't want. I want one where I might get I get a 12 pack and I might get 6 good shells. Oh, that's another thing that pissed me off. I know that y'all little turtles got hurt. I know y'all little pigeons and water ducks got black shit all over. But what I don't want is half my packs of tacos crushed up. Like, yes, y'all need to figure out a way to bring back some of my plastic back for my holding my taco shells. Y'all need to bring some of it back. Y'all need to figure it out a way.
They should use that the compostable corn plastic that they make out of corn to begin with. This is corn on corn, Rex.
They got to do something because I had 2 separate packs of taco shells. One by Ortega, one by Taco Bell. I'm like, I'm gonna open them up and I'm gonna see which ones are crunched up the most. Because the box ain't really doing nothing. Because usually it was like a whole like form fitting plastic sheath over your tacos, and you're like, oh man, I got one broken. That's the one I'll make a GTC out of. But then now with this new with the new packaging, all of them got a little chip out of them. All of them imperfect to a certain extent.
I think I'm kind of shocked that you of all people just don't go buy corn tortillas and fry them shits up, and fry them shits hard.
It ain't the same.
But you want the Ortega Jones. That's the flavor profile you are looking for, thinness and crispness and so forth.
Exactly, like the dynamic contrast of Ortega shell is far superior than you buying probably another brand of Ortega shell and frying it up yourself. It's like it would probably be better. Like the texture still ain't the same. Like I don't know, do they got to do something else to that? Do they dry? I don't know. It's not the same, man. Definitely not the same.
Fair.
Like those, I don't really fuck with corn shells. Like they not good. Like when you go to a restaurant, you have something authentic. Like those are one. I guess if you want to say like I'm not gonna even say white people tacos because I feel like that's offensive. Like easy tacos are better than authentic tacos in my opinion. Like I don't want no double corn to both of them still cracked in the middle wet.
I don't think it's offensive because white people are the one who came up with that shit. We ain't make that shit up. They make that shit up.
I understand that, but I still feel like I still don't feel right saying it like that. I mean, it's saying white in a derogatory manner, and it's not like
I don't think that's what's happening there. I feel like they're saying white as in they know how they make white people to taco night. They know what they are and how they get down.
Okay.
They not derogatory. They ain't being derogatory to themselves. Mm-hmm. What they are saying is they don't make tacos as good as Mexican make tacos. And I feel like that's built right into it.
I don't know. I feel like I think they're being tongue in cheek about it. And like
I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like black people are more likely to use the taco kits than white people are.
Not at this house, but sure. I'm sure somewhere.
I don't know.
There ain't never been a taco kit in my home. I can tell you that. My parents' home, yes. My home, no.
But yeah,
I had tacos yesterday.
What part? So you don't use any part of a taco kit?
No.
What do you see?
We cooked the meat. We cooked the meat in the slow cooker for like 10 hours with some seasonings and like so the batches vary. But the last time it was like jalapenos, some spices. We did like a chuck shoulder. We started shredding up our own cheese. He took sour cream and whipped it and put it into a bottle so it's more airy and liquidy rather than the glop out of the container. We use like an avocado crema. We have pico. We take tortilla shells, like the soft kind, and we'll soften them up.
In the
Sometimes
microwave.
in the microwave. Sometimes we'll put them on like the stovetop to crisp them up a little bit. But yeah, so like when we do taco night here at my house, well, there ain't no fucking Ortega boxes anywhere near this bitch. There ain't no Ortega boxes within 3 miles of my house.
Well, for the most part, now if you were talking to me 3 years ago, I dig what you're saying. Now I always like from the beginning. I always made like a cucumber pico de gallo, like from scratch. But I got one little kid. I got to make El Taco night. I got to make 2 meals. It's just not well. It really is actually 3 because like all the shit that you talking about, like making it the soft shell and stuff. That's what my partner eating. She eating the real pico. She eating the. I always shred my cheese, like no matter what. The only thing I use out of the box is like for the ground turkey. I use a packet seasoning. But then, like, of course, that's doctored up because I season the meat before I even put that seasoning on there. But like for chicken tacos. That's a long ass process. Like I take the chicken thighs, I take the skin off, and I bake the chicken skin first, and then I let the kids eat that while like everything else is getting done. Like pretty much having chicken skin chicharrones, and then like I said, just shred the chicken, everything else. But like my son, like he's a weird kid, man. As far as like tacos and macaroni and cheese go, it's box for him. Like, I don't understand. Like everything else is like, okay, I want you to make this style, but you know what? When it comes to macaroni and cheese and tacos, you better make it the easiest way possible for me. Like he still don't like regular baked. I mean, what I will consider regular baked macaroni and cheese. I think he just hating still, but that's what he like. He like Easy Mac. He like the what I would consider the trash macaroni and cheese.
I like Velveeta. When I was younger, I didn't mind Kraft, but as I've gotten older, I prefer like other things. I guess like it was like once I had to make Kraft and I realized like what I was actually putting into it and what it was. I kind of didn't really like it as much.
I don't like their noodles. Like they're very it's not an elbow. Fuck what you heard. It's a Kraft noodle, and it's no, nothing about that noodle speaks to me. But I did make a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese this very night for my son, so because he asked me to. So there you go. Just here's what it is. Not like it ain't in the house. Not like I won't whip it up.
Yeah.
Can't always be excellent macaroni and cheese, though. It is nearing Easter, and I mean, I don't really do anything on Easter, but maybe I'll make a good macaroni and cheese. I don't eat ham. I don't normally cook on Easter. Easter's not one of them holidays I get down with because that's not really my faith. But I always take a holiday.
Yeah, I feel like we celebrate every holiday just so we can be like, hey man, when you get older, you can either not celebrate it or celebrate it if you want to. I think especially to make some room in the freezer, I'm probably gonna smoke a turkey.
Yeah, you do be holding on them shits because you be getting them when they on sale at good deals. So
yeah, Stan, I don't know, they came to pick up the kids or something. He was like, "Hey, put one of these in the freezer."
I'll recall.
And I was like, all right. And he probably gonna forget and not pick it up. So yeah, I'm a smoke a turkey. Like and then are you guys gonna? I know you might do it, Lunch. Are you gonna pick up either make yourself a corned beef or pick up a sandwich anytime soon?
I'm not sure. I saw the stuff at the grocery store last night, so it kind of reminded me that that's coming up. We probably will. I'm like, we don't have it in the plans right now. Like right now, as we speak, there's pork ribs in the slow cooker. But yeah, like I'm sure we will. We have like all the other times,
Fair.
but we'll probably pick it up more close to when we're actually going to cook it.
Yeah, I think
Take it, man.
I think I might pick one up tomorrow.
I think what it comes down to is well, okay. One, Box is a single gentleman about town, so of course he ain't fucking around with no white people tacos. But you got and me for that matter. You got kids, and kids are want to eat things conveniently and things they see on TV and things they hear about from their schoolmates, so and so on. So they want to eat whatever. But even still, you like Ortega yourself, so it's not taken from it or given to it. You enjoy Ortega and think it's a quality enough product for your family. So it's not a knock against them or anything like that. There, it's just you make it. But you also make it your own because I know how you cook.
Yeah, I think
what do you cook if like we're just like I make this bitch to instruction on the box? You make anything like that?
No, probably
Pop Tarts or something. You know what I'm saying?
I think my tacos are more mulatto tacos. It's like right in the middle, like not white, not black. Because like when I said like most of the other steps is like you got to do this. I'm like. Usually, instead of adding water, I'm adding chicken stock. Like I said, I'm seasoning. I'm not adding extra salt, but like before I even add the taco seasoning, I add onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika. Like before I even get it going, and then like I'm adding avocado oil to make it a richer, fattier turkey taco experience. So.
Okay, yeah, because it's such a lean meat that actually needs a little something
yes.
to kind of fatten it up. And why not avocado oil? It's a good fat, and you know what I'm saying. And what it adds to the whole. Avocado belongs with that type of food, Southwest type food. You know what I'm saying? They kind of got a vibe. Yeah, man, I've been, you know what I'm saying? We've been to the taco spot downtown. We would go hit them up on it was Taco Tuesday. It had to been Taco Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we had relatively authentic tacos, and they made a mean fish taco and so forth. Not like I didn't enjoy them, but shit was also like $10. So
yeah, they $250, and then like as you like you got better ingredients. They like it was like $250, $3, $4.50.
Yeah. But also that restaurant don't exist no more. So clearly,
it's just another Mexican restaurant there. They just flip it to their cousin every 7 years. They ain't slick.
Oh shit! I didn't realize they kept it a Mexican spot.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it still is. Yeah.
Nice.
That's how you get through bankruptcy. You just rebrand under a different name. Clear them debts, baby.
Oh shit. Well, shit, there you go, man. Anything else, Ant?
If it was, I forgot.
That's what's up then. Then, Daniel, it is yours, sir. Story time on Lunchbox. What's the good word, sir?
I figured you would just tell the listeners about our trip to Canada.
Oh, well, hey.
Since we did that together.
We did do that together. Box and I headed north of the border of this past Sunday. We took the northwest route. We went via Detroit into Windsor, Canada. Windsor, Canada is lovely. It was a good day that day too. Box pointed out, he goes, and it's definitely the Detroit of Canada. As we drove through it's what's funny is it's literally basically, if you were like looking at the map, it's one street over. The one street over where you come into Windsor at, it is kind of like, ooh, it's a little sketch over here. But then one street in, it's like, oh, this is just, standard suburban type shit, you know what I'm saying? And so forth and so on. Main point of this adventure was I was looking for, and in fact, here, reach for it. More, man, I knocked the whole damn camera loose. Jesus, please. More retro games for my well, it's right here too. I got it for my analog pocket, and I was hopeful that in Canada maybe I could find more games than I've been finding here stateside for the systems that I've been looking for. And so we ventured all about, hit up a couple of game shops around the way, but also I got to take Box to the Superstore. He got to go see to what is it called? It's Real Canadian Superstore, I believe is what it's called, or something to that effect. It's not just called Superstore; it has a full ass title to it. And
it was very Canadian.
Yeah, Box is like, man, it's like a Kmart, and I was just like, I laughed to myself because I was like, yeah, it's very much like a Super K from back in the Super K that used to be over there on Brook Park anyway. There's now a Menards. Well, now Menards sits where that Super K sat because they tore down that building. So it very much has that particular kind of essence to it, because it's like, yeah, you buying groceries right here, but literally across, it's like it's also kind of like Meijer, but right here is also clothes, like right there.
There was like kids' clothes right across from like the frozen pizza.
There's a real lack of separation of church and state in that store, because on one end is food, and then they call it natural food, so that's where all the basically organic shit is at. But then it's like, okay, here in the middle with some pots and pans and some dishes and some spoons, and
toys,
and, cutlery, toys and stuff like that there, hair products and all that stuff there, and then cleaning products and stuff like that there, and then food picks up again. And then all in the front is where clothes is at. It's like, so it's a very that particular superstore is just laid out like that, and I just find that so very amusing. But I enjoy going to Superstore because I don't know, I just dig it, and literally everything that I went in there to get, they had. Because I was considering going to Walmart when I was up there. I was like, nah, Superstore knocked it all out. So you know what it is? I came home with a bunch of Five Alives, a crap load of Kit Kats. I got a bag full of various chip flavors that we need to, like I said, we need to get a time schedule so we can all sit together and come together and record and test the food out. Because I got Japanese Kit Kats that I've had for a bit here that we need to test as well. So we got a lot of stuff that we need to try. What else we buy, Box? I got some spoons while I was up there. I know that seems weird, but President's Choice, which is like the brand of Superstore, had a pack of like, I think it was like 6 spoons, but like for a song. I bought batteries while I was up there, only because they were so cheap. It was like a 16 pack of batteries for $10 Canadian. It's basically like, $8 American. I was like, oh shit, why not just grab these while I'm here? So I did that and so forth, and it was just I know I love being up there. It's everything's always on sale in Canada because the dollar just kicks its ass regularly for right now in life. You know what I'm saying? So I just end up I love going up there and buying a bunch of stuff. I got my Vanessa's grandma and sister their flour. What the hell? We went to a restaurant we've never been to before in Canada called Harvey's. I've heard of Harvey's before. It's like just Canadian fast food chain, and tasty enough. But just as with every time I've had fast food in Canada, just abject poor service. Not asshole service, just poor service. They try to be nice. They try to be cool. It's just it's like, I might as well be. It's weird to me that we both are speaking English, but we ain't speaking the same English. Because Box was very clear in what he ordered. I was very clear in what I ordered, and they got them both wrong. Because I straight up said, oh, I would like a bubbly. And what I get, a bottle of water. I'm like, excuse me, I really want that bubbly. Is that I'll fix it. We can fix it. I'll pay the difference, whatever. And the lady was like, oh, never mind. You know what I'm saying? But it was a 50-cent difference that she lightweight was about to charge me for it. And I'm like, bitch, you had better not. I know I'm willing to pay the difference, but the reality of it is I didn't make the error. They made the error. And I don't know why you didn't hear. And they say people in foreign lands, we just said last week, constantly say Americans is a bunch of loudmouths. So I know they heard me. I know I was clearing my point. Box also cleared his point as he was standing right next to me and said,
I ordered the chicken BLT sandwich, and I asked to sub out the fries for poutine. And what I got was a poutine with chicken on it.
I mean, they make it. They had 3 different poutines, and that was one of them on the menu there.
Yeah, it was like their chicken
The
bacon
chicken
ranch
ranch?
poutine.
Yeah.
Chicken
Yes.
ranch poutine.
Yeah.
But it was clearly not what I ordered. I didn't get a drink. I didn't get a sandwich. Nothing. And rather than like get loud, I just said fuck it, whatever. Because
Yeah.
the way it works is like you order and then you kind of like go down a line, almost like at Subway, where like the people who buy burgers or order burgers, I should say, they have like a topping station. So you tell them what to put on the burger, what like after they cook the meat or whatever. And so like our orders went on, like slips went on to trays, and they just slid them down the line. And then we were standing there waiting, and like they put a box on mine. I'm like, okay, cool, that's the poutine. And then I'm just standing there. Like T's already got his food. He's sitting down. He's eating. And I'm just standing there because I'm waiting on a sandwich that I ordered, you know?
Yeah.
And then the girl's like, oh, your food's here. You're good to go. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the box and I'm like, the poutine and the sandwich are both in the box. She's like, you didn't get a sandwich. I'm like, yes, I did. I ordered the chicken BLT sandwich and the poutine. As she looks at the slip, and then the cashier girl that took both of our orders isn't at the cash register. She's now standing to the like right of the line girl, and they just kind of look at each other, and she has this like deer in headlights look on her face, like she realized she fucked up. But like I'm just like, whatever, man, it's fine. I'm like, I'll just eat this, and I just took the tray and I sat down with T and I ate my food, which was fine. The other thing that T didn't mention about Canadian fast food, some of the saltiest shit. Like, because I always feel like it stays on my lips for hours after I eat it.
That's why I get water. it is salty. Poutine in general, though, poutine is just, it's kind of salty by nature.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the cheese curds, yeah. And then, like, I imagine the way that they do gravy, it's probably heavily salted.
Yeah.
But, like, we were rolling around Canada for a couple hours after we ate that, and I just felt like I had, like, gravy salt all over my lips. I just couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, you probably should have went and just splashed some water on your face. You got a quick
I mean, you saw I drank both those teas. I drank like most of that bottle of water. Like I was trying.
Yeah. All vibes, Canada gorgeous, lovely. You know what I'm saying? We get on the road, start heading home. And I noticed that I'm in a turn lane. I'm like,
before that,
turn lane. Okay.
The people at Tim Hortons in Canada do not fuck with me.
I thought she was nice to you.
So T and I stopped at Tim Hortons because he was trying to see if they had chili for Vanessa.
Yes.
And T went up to I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom. T was at the counter ordering. I come out of the bathroom and T has to go to the bathroom. So he tells the girl who was taking his order, like, hey, this is my buddy. He can grab my order. I'm going to run to the bathroom. It's okay. So I walk up to the counter and I'm standing there waiting on his food. And the girl comes up. She's like, oh, can I get you something? Like a different girl. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll order like a donut or two since I'm here. So I ordered 2 donuts. She tells me the price. I really didn't hear what she said, but I'm like, whatever. I'm putting on a credit card anyway. It's 2 donuts. How bad can it be? So I slide the credit card into the credit card machine, and I'm standing there, and then she just stares at me for a minute, and I'm just like staring back at her. I'm like, the fuck? And then she goes, are you going to pay? And I'm like, the credit card's in the machine. And she goes, oh. And then she hits a button on the cash register, and then she's like, all right, here you go. So she was staring at me, even though I'd already done my half of the transaction.
Again, customer service at their fast food establishments in Canada.
But also, they completely ignored T's request to give me his food for safekeeping, and they just left it sitting on the counter at the other end. Never gave it to me. They completely ignored it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tim Hortons up in Canada don't fuck with me because that's 2 times now I've gone there, and 2 times it's been kind of shit as far as how they treated me. Or
on 2 different sides of the province, so it's not like you can be like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Also, that right there, bro, us pulling out of Harvey's actually was a portend of things to come, because I'm waiting to pull out of Harvey's. It's a busy street, but people in Canada are wild nice. So a bunch of people stop to give me a gap to pull out. And as I start pulling out, somebody else just decides, fuck it, I'm coming around all these stopped cars because they must be stopped for not to be stopped, I guess. And so this fucker almost hit me. And he blows his horn at me like I'm wrong. Again, all the cars had stopped to give me a gap to come out. And, we're doing right by me. But fuck that dude. But that day, an accident was meant to happen, and an accident did. We on the road to leave Canada on Oullette, Oullete. I'm in a turn lane. Didn't realize I was in turn lane until a bit late. And I was like, whatever. I'll punch up and punch over. It's easy. I do it all the time in America. We all know what's up. You see a car coming fast, you slow your goddamn roll, you let the other car go, you beep your horn, and you be mad at them. Instead, this lady sped up, hit my fucking car.
Oh, no.
Clipped my mirror. Which pushed my mirror in, but my car has one of those mirrors that tilts, so it just tilted my mirror in, but took their mirror straight off, at least the cover to their mirror straight off. And I'm like, fuck, because I don't know how this works, and I'm foreign territory. So I pull over, but I want you to know this is on the busy street. It's the street leaving Canada, basically. Literally, you ride that street all the way out.
We were like a minute or two away from getting out of there. We were almost out.
Almost.
We both pull over as far as we can, but the reality of it is it's a very busy street and we are fucking up. So her boyfriend get out the car. He was the passenger, and he wanted to try to get bucking wild. And I understand it to a degree now. He's probably just being protective. It's his lady, and I'm a big giant motherfucker who stands up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but he want to come approach a motherfucker on some whack shit, yelling and shit at me when he hit my car. I didn't hit his car. He hit my car, despite me punching through a turn lane. And I get it. I know to a degree I am at fault, but they could have slowed up, but instead punched up. So I'm like, why are you going to speed up at this situation? You see me right here. So basically, you fucked it up here. I get it. Like I said, I know my part of what I'm in the wrong for, but also it's like, come on, bro. It's like his roots of this hip hop. Let's play sweet. Then a cop comes. The cop's like, you guys okay? And the guy's like, he's like, okay. So cop hops out, hey man, y'all just move it around the corner here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right. So we gonna move it around the corner, and the cop's like, nah, don't put it right here. There's a parking lot right there. Go put it right there. So go park it around the way. This is after I done cursed this motherfucker Blue Blaze. And I know he don't understand. I got a whole damn den in the car. Like, this could be a problem for you real fast, man. And I'm not saying it was going to be. I'm simply saying it could be.
Yeah, I stayed in the car to try to like avoid escalating the situation. But it was like a tiny little white woman and like a tiny, short, little Middle Eastern looking dude.
Middle Eastern? I was going with Asian of some sort, but okay. I hear you. I see you. Respect it.
Yeah, he didn't look Asian to me. But I mean, they're in Canada. So it's like, it could have been like, he could be Canadian. He's Canadian, Indian or what. I don't know how they do it up there. But
for sure.
He was a tiny little guy. And he's obviously a large man. And I'm a large man. And so I didn't want to get out of the car and have two large men just like towering over this little dude. So I stayed in the car, but I kept watch because I'm like, if something crazy gonna happen, at least like I'll get out of the car real quick. Yeah. But I stayed in the car.
It was a smart play, and it just meant I had that in my bag if it was necessary to go in my bag, which is what I like to have. You know what I'm saying? So. First cop is two cops. First cop who was, I don't know, thought he was going to be Ranger Rick or whatever. But then the other dude was like, hey, man, this don't look like $2,000 worth of damage. I'm not even writing this up unless it's $2,000 worth of damage. Y'all going to be okay? I'm like, I'm fine, man. It's cool. I apologize to this dude, even though I shouldn't have, but I did. I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry. But he still had a little attitude. I could tell. I'm like, it's okay, little bitch. I go and talk to the lady who had gotten out of the car when we were still on the busy street and say, I'm so sorry for him. Apologize for a whack ass man. and apologize for hitting my car. So she was already on the right page. You know what I'm saying? We was going to be cool. And I'm about to start talking to the one cop who just said, I ain't writing this shit up. I ain't got shit to do with shit. I'm out. But then the other cop was like, I want to see you guys' license. I just want to make sure everybody's okay. And I'm like, sure, buddy. I had already had my license, my passport, and my registration in my hand. But the one cop was like, I don't need that shit. So I gave it back to Dan. And so I put my license out and handed it to him. He looks over our licenses, and, we're all licensed drivers. We're all legal. It's all good. And so then he finally leaves. I talk to the old girl. I'm like, here is my insurance information. I have good insurance. Go get your mirror fixed. I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm like, it's okay. I pay for this insurance for a reason. Go get your mirror fixed. I understand that it's my fault because, like I said, I punched up through a turn lane trying to, cut over. That is on me. I don't deny it. And I'm like, it's okay. Go get your car fixed. And she's fine. My mirror literally just twisted back out because it just twisted the mirror. No, there's no damage to it. There's no scratch to it. There's no nothing to it. It's fine. We were both in Hondas. Just their mirror they hit my mirror and my mirror beat their mirror.
They fixed their mirror too by the time we left. Like he popped the fucking cover back on. Her mirror was still fine.
Yeah. I thought it had chip missing, but
it probably had like a scratch or maybe a chip or something, but he popped the damn thing back on. So it's like, what are they really going to fix? They going to get a brand new cover? Like, whatever.
I don't know. But also, I pretty much was 1,000% sure that woman wasn't going to do anything to do with anything. She seemed genuinely kind of like, I don't know what the fuck, I don't even know how this fucking works. It's weird to get to an accident. I've never been this before. Like, clearly this like, she's a rookie at all these things, whereas I've had a car totaled underneath me before. So, been there. But it was fine. Literally, I'm not joking you, bro. Like Box just said, we were moments away from the border. Like we drove a little bit up the road, a little further, turned, and there you go. We're at the toll road to get out of Canada. $8, sir, on the Canadian side, $6.50 on the American side. If you're wanting the price of those tolls, when I finally looked at them, Canada kind of saying trying to take advantage. And bruh, the least give a fuck guy on our side of the border. Y'all bring anything back? Oh, a little food, and we trying to have, because me and Box normally have a little tat with the guy on the American border crosser. He was not trying to hear it. He's like, all right, yeah. But Box was in the midst of a joke when he was like basically sent us on our way. And I'm like, you just ain't gonna let my man finish his bit? Fine. That brother was not playing. But back to America, we just rode it on home. But let me show you some stuff I got of my viewers.
While T's pulling that up, I have to say the Canadian what would you call
border
it?
Agent?
Entrance border agent. Very pleasant lady. Like Windsor was way more. I've gone through Windsor twice now in the last 6 months, and both times way more pleasant than the Buffalo side. Way nicer, good energy, enthusiastic. If this lady had asked me out, I'd have gone. I'd have been like, I can wait. Yeah. She had a nice little bubbly personality about her. She said bonjour. She because T's car sits the lowest of any car I've ever been in almost. And so she couldn't really see me from the booth. She had to bend down and look through the window to see who I was and that I was there and everything. But when she did it, she didn't do it with an attitude. She did it with a kind of a personality that I'd like to take to dinner. I'd eat poutine with her.
That's the direction I thought that was going to go. As I told you, we had hit up basically 4 game shops. Does that count as 4? No, one of them was out of business. So 3 game stores. And each one I went in and asked, you have Atari Lynx or TurboGrafx 16 games? And no was the answer at 2. The third one we went into, we were just kicking it, and Box came across something interesting. And then I look and I see on the shelf over there, I'm like, oh, they got it. I'm like, Box, they got them over there. And so they had a small selection of TurboGrafx 16 games, which is what I've been on the hunt for. And so I snagged a couple TurboGrafx 16 games. One of them is Power Golf. I think I paid 15 Canadian for that one. And Vigilante, I believe I paid 30 Canadian for that one. Great prices on both those. I was very happy to have those. So I did not leave Canada empty-handed for some TurboGrafx cue cards, are what those are known as. And so my collection of TurboGrafx cue cards are those two. I have Victory Run, which is a racing game. I have Sidearms, which is a bit of a shooter. Capcom makes that. That's why it has a different look to it. Pac-Land, Pac-Man joint. And the only one I actually have that's full in case, basically complete in box, is Keith Courage and Alpha Zone. I bought this years ago at a PAX East. Paid $10 for that. So that lets you know how prices have kind of surged on TurboGrafx games in the years since. Because like I said, that's complete in box, and I paid $10 for it. And if like you go look online right now, they're about $20-$30 is what that's selling for. The Lynx games I've been kind of developing over time. The last time we went to Detroit, I got a couple of these. So I have a few Lynx games. One of the main ones I'm going to have to, not going to have to, I'm probably going to dig up on eBay here in the very near future, because today I got the email that the Lynx, TurboGrafx, and Neo Geo Pocket adapters, along with the Game Gear adapter, which I already have shipped. And we'll be here hopefully this weekend. I'm very excited about that, because I mean I can finally play those games on this device, play the actual physical games on this device, and I love it. I actually absolutely love it. It also means they'll probably have they will have a software update which will make it I can play the ROMs if I have them. So a good trip to Canada. I did not feel it was marred by the accident. I was actually just fine with it. I felt safe. I didn't even get too out of pocket. Oh boy, I was just like, you ain't gonna be yelling at me. You hit my car. And he's like, don't talk to me that way. You can't talk to me that way. I'm like, hey, watch your shit. Remember, you hit my car. I didn't hit your car. And he was wilding, and I didn't even feel my blood pressure rise, which is so strange. It did elevate a little bit when the cops got there, but then I was like, wait a minute. I got everything. Passport, my car is mine. I got my insurance. I'm fully insured. I'm like nothing. I wasn't even bothered to that degree. I was very excited to have gotten everything I got from Superstore. Everything I'm glad I found those games. The people who worked at that store were super nice to us, and that's because Box spent a couple of shekels there to get a statue. So, you know what I'm saying? And I bought some games. So we went there and bought stuff. But they were also very talking to us, and we were telling them, they were like how, oh yeah, people been coming up from the States a lot to try to find games and so forth. And told us where to go get Kit Kats at a good price. And I was like, I'm just going over to Superstore. Don't worry about it. And they laughed because I know Superstore. It's like when you go to a foreign country, you know a little bit of the language. They like that shit. I know their language a little bit in that I know the spots. I'm going to Superstore. I'm not going over to Dollarama. It actually is a store called Dollarama just across the street there. We could have hit up, but I'm not. No. Because I'm not going to go get a little Kit Kat. I'm going to buy a lot of Kit Kats of all kinds of flavors that, so. Canada is lovely. I love it. I love going up there. The weather was perfect this weekend. Me and Box, we didn't walk, but we walked from one game store to another game store. And you bought that Lugia figure from the one shop, and they were super nice there as well. So
yeah, it was from the Pokemon Soul Silver, came out like 14 years ago or something. It was like a pre sale promo or something like that.
Oh,
I didn't even
know that.
Yeah, I might end up giving it to my brother when his birthday rolls around if he doesn't piss me off between now and then.
Nice. Yeah. So, Windsor, Canada apparently has as it turns out, all those game stores are all on the same street. We just didn't know it, with the exception of the one that was out of business, and probably why it's out of business is not on the right strip. And General Tecumseh Street, Lane, Road, whatever that shit was, that's where all the game shops are at in Windsor, Canada. If you want to know where they are, it is, what was it? It was Game Oasis was the one spot. Dr. Game or Game MD was the other spot. Can't think of the one. The first one we went to, where they had the DVDs.
Yeah,
But-
I don't know that one because that was the one you looked up. I was just there and we didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy Pokemon Blue complete in box. And so when I got home, I told you I had Pokemon Blue already. I don't. It's not here. Like either my brother has it or it's lost because I checked the closet. I have Pokemon Red, Gold, Silver, and Pokemon Pinball. My Blue is not here. So if I had bought that, it wouldn't have actually been a terrible purchase as far as like needing the game because I actually do apparently need it.
Yeah. I have Gold myself. Never played it, but it's present in the collection. So I think that's the only Pokemon game I have in this collection, in fact. Ready to Rumble.
Oh.
And this one's kind of fun. You put a battery in it, and so you get a rumble on this cartridge.
What size battery?
That's got to be it. What do you think? Is that a AA situation?
Probably
I feel like that
AAA.
might be a AA. A
I
single.
think Pokemon
yeah.
Pinball does the same thing.
Yeah.
I think I have a
Interesting.
Game Genie too, still.
For the Game Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. And now I'm trying to close this. But like I said, truly a good time. Thank you again, Dan, for rolling with me, man. You know I gets down. I will go to Canada by my lonesome. I'm not too whatever about it, but to not have to go by myself was nice. Plus, like I said, when the shit went down,
You know who's doing the pop?
if it had gone away, it could have went away. God, I can't even imagine me and Dan have to beat up somebody.
Come international criminals together.
Hey, it'd be like I was defending my honor, man. Dude, because it's not like I'm going to strike this dude, but if he had run up,
Have to
You
hit
know
up
the
Joe
rest.
Biden to extradite us back to the homeland.
Joe Byron, you gotta buy me dinner. Oh my gosh! There you go, Adventures in Canada, people. Lots of food to eat. Patrons, I got. Like I said, it's merely over. I can twist my shoulder a little bit. See that blue bag right there behind me? It's full of chips, like a lot of various flavors, which I won't bother telling nobody about now. It'll be a nice little surprise for all of us. So
You'll hear about it a year and a half from now, patrons.
it is bloody likely at the way I edit these shits, but hopefully we will get together sooner than that to actually sample these goods. And
I just want the people who stick around to, like, when they hear it, be like, oh, he told us.
he wouldn't lie. That's what it is, y'all. But y'all know what the deal is, man. As that counts as story time, lunchbox, and tea time. Let's roll on over to the mean streets of Reddit for a little bit of Am I the Asshole? I got 3 for you this week. One of them technically comes from 2 hot takes and is headline Am I the Asshole? So that one come from the Am I the Asshole normal streets, but all these are I think will be of interest to us all. In case you didn't know, every week for a very long time now, I go to Reddit, I read an Am I the Asshole? We decide if people are assholes, then we read the story and decide if they really are assholes, which is the fun part about Am I the Asshole? First one I have for you is, am I the asshole for telling my wife it's weird that she and her mother share a location 100% of the time on their phones? Am I the asshole boarding the plane and leaving without my wife?
Oh yeah, I seen it. I seen it. I didn't watch it though.
Oh, so, see that one? I literally came across it when I was fucking around on Reddit the other day. So that's fun that you've seen that for somewhere else.
Bless me.
And am I the asshole when my husband doesn't tell me what he is doing all the time? That's it. Let's start there. That's a good one to start on. Am I the asshole when my husband doesn't tell me what he's doing all the time?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Am I the asshole when I, 34 female, get mad when my husband, 35 male, does things without telling me? He owns his own office, and the office closes at 5. The house is about 20-minute drive away, but he usually gets home between 5 and 6 because he gets out late sometimes. The last situation, he went out to eat dinner with his brother and a business representative to discuss business things. The reason I got mad was he got home at 6 p.m. and never told me anything about his plans. We usually eat after we put the kids to bed. About an hour later, we are getting our young kids to bed, and after I ask if he's planning on cooking potatoes for dinner, he says no, but he can make me some because he already ate. Actually, he was joking that he ate already, and he tells me he went out to dinner. I yelled at him for not telling me. He said he didn't need to tell me because he was still home around the same time he always gets home, and that I am absurd for wanting him to tell me where he's at. Not only am I mad because he didn't tell me, but the fact that he doesn't think he has to tell me. Also mad because he said that he doesn't do these things very often and that once in a while is okay because he doesn't do it every day. Am I the asshole?
All right. This whole thing is framed so poorly, and the way they're looking at it each is so stupid. Like, all right, he doesn't need to tell her all the things that are involved with work if like the grandiose details if he doesn't want to. Now, if he goes and has like a dinner that's like a work lunch or a work meeting, I mean, it's not necessarily that he should have to tell her everything he does. But if you guys eat dinner together every day, just give the other person a fucking heads up like, hey, baby, I already plan to eat without me tonight, or we can still make something for you, but I'm good. It doesn't have to be this fucking like, oh, well, I shouldn't have to tell you that I ate dinner today, even though like even though they technically eat dinner together like 7 fucking days a week, and it should be expected that we would eat dinner on this night together too, but you just decide to like do it without me for a reason, but then like just don't give me a heads up and give me shit about it when I'm just like, are you serious? But then this person's being ridiculous for being so angry about something that like seems to have been an important thing and making it be like I feel like the argument, the way the story is framed very poorly as far as like, am I the asshole for not knowing, like being expected to be told everything that like that's so fucking, that's like you're stretching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand her point a little bit. Like, part of her day is hearing about his day. Like, hey, this is the part where we share, like, I had some clients come in and all that stuff you talk about with your kids. And I understand that point, but just, both people kind of suck in the situation. Like, why did you fly off the handle?
What? Well, first response. Everyone sucks here. I think it's shit of your husband not to give you the heads up that he already ate so you can make plans to eat without him. I just think it's too much to expect I think it's too much to expect what someone is doing all the time though. Easy. This person, this was a fun one. He went from not the asshole back to you're the asshole, and we'll get to it. You're the asshole. From the yelling at a partner in front of kids, without that, it's just mundane relationship conversation. I think it depends on the couple. Another point of view is, sounds like he's usually arriving home between 5 and 6. He arrived at 6. He had work. Some couples text everything all the time. Some only message when things happen. He's arriving home within the window that he usually gets home in. They're not planning on eating for an hour and a half after he gets home. There's nothing there you need a heads up about. He's offered to cook still. It's not like he's gone, I've ate, you have fun, I'll be in the garage watching football. With my work, personally, I can't always just whip the phone out and tell my partner what time or day to expect me at home. I give her a heads up, but when I know or I am in the car, and that took a while for her to get used to, so I get both points of view. I think they just need to have a chat about expectations and what's practical and possible. Because way that's how it's written. Because way I see it, it wouldn't be reasonable to expect an hour by hour update on end times from the husband who's trying to run a business, unless you had specific plans arranged. But I can also see how you'd appreciate some update for planning the evening or even the week ahead. not the asshole. They just need to have a chat. But then he's drawing a line through the not the asshole and says, edit. Just saw the bit about yelling at him in front of the kids. Yelling at him in front of the kids for having a business dinner at work. It's not like she cooked and he left her hanging, waiting for him to get in, sloshed at 10. He got home at a reasonably normal time, just had 8, and he offered to cook. OP's lost the plot. Reasonable responses. You don't yell at your partner for not mentioning that he's eaten yet. If the genders were reversed, it would be more blatant. OP's just wildly in the wrong. So, this person went on a journey.
Yeah, because it be subtle nuances that you pick up on. Is like, that's a fine line. It'd be like, if you just had did this one little thing, things would have been fine.
Yeah. I just, like Box. This is asshole is far too strong. You're a bit of a butt for yelling in front of the kids. Don't do that. And you don't want to know about everything this man is doing. Even though you wrote that in this I'm an asshole. That's not what you ever asked for. You want a heads up if you're gonna be eating when we normally eat together. Let your homie know. So it's not you wrote that you want to know everything, but you don't want to know everything. You just want to know what's up on the after work swing. Because you need to know. It's like, okay, I need to know what's happening here because I need to know. Do I need to, did I need to pull the chicken out earlier? Do I need to get the pot boiling so we can get whatever you need? You need that small amount of data. And him going to eat should have been like, hey, I'm with my, because she obviously, well, maybe she knew after the fact. I'm saying, but she knew he was with her brother and a business associate, so he should have been like, oh, we're at Applebee's. We're gonna get this 2 for $20 pop.
We had a corned beef sandwich. Like, just that's all I'm saying. Is like, if you have a routine with somebody that and they are expecting you to continue that routine and you switch up the routine on them, just give them a heads up. That's all.
Exactly.
I would expect that from people, if we do something every day and then out of the blue, we go to do the thing we do every day. And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I already did it without you. Well, where the fuck was the heads up so I could have made plans or something, or planned around it or whatever. That's why I thought this whole thing was just exacerbated a little bit.
Yeah. But
he could have just given her a heads up and the whole thing would have been fucking avoided.
Yeah. You moving weird, my dude. And then if you moving weird and I say something to you, act weirder about it, then
it start building.
Yeah.
But I clicked on her name because, I always like to click on the name to see what's popping. And this one has minus 164 karma. So let's read it and see, why does it have minus 164 karma? It's a recurring argument. If he's having lunch on his own time, that's fine. Do as he pleases. But when he's supposed to come home, I would like a heads up, especially when I'm home waiting for him to help me put the kids to sleep and eat dinner. Now, I would let her get off on that, except his ass was home at 6 o'clock, and you said he's normally home around 6 o'clock, which means he was there to do what he does normally, and that is help put them kids to sleep. The dinner portion is the only thing you can get anything off about, and that's it.
And plus,
and if it's a regularly occurring argument that you say this, but only now are you talking about. It's a regular current argument this man shows at home at 5 to 6 because you said he shows up between 5 and 6 every day. So how is this a regularly occurring argument?
I think the real thing is he didn't bring her home nothing in the doggy bag. You couldn't save me some wings and a biscuit, my dude? Come on.
Bruh. It's so real that if he just would have brought her own food, that this all could have just been avoided. Because it probably was just angry.
They wouldn't have had to cook, so they would have saved some time. He would show that he cared about her and was thinking about her. And then they could have had a nice, lovely evening doing whatever together because the cooking time would have already been taken care of. So they could have enjoyed each other's company, could have showed he loved her. Man, maybe this guy really is an asshole, right?
And always, I think people just don't be thinking. They remember everybody's the star of their own damn show, and they just don't be thinking. And then he's like, "What the hell? I'm home on time. This is I'm in fact I'm here, at a relatively decent hour.
It's like buying flowers when it's not a holiday or an anniversary or something.
Yeah. Sometimes you just
He just
Yeah.
had the perfect
Just buying the
chalupa.
flowers because it's Tuesday.
He has a perfect chalupa in the car, and he didn't want to tell her about it. That's it.
He kept the perfect chalupa for himself, that son of a bitch.
Sounds pretty selfish if you ask me.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife it's weird that she and her mother share a location 100% of the time on their phones?
I don't think it's weird because
Yeah, I don't think it's weird.
Because it's not weird. This dude is weird. It's weird saying shit like that.
most spouses are
Yes, you're an asshole.
most spouses are the ones who murders their wife. So, somebody needs to know where somebody is.
I mean, if you don't have any secrets in your relationship and or you're not trying to plan like a surprise of some sort, then could be like a safety thing.
This just came up casually in conversation with my 37 female mother-in-law, 68 female, in reference to meeting her at a waterfront near our home. I was asking her to narrow it down a little bit when she said my wife, 40 female, could look at her location to make it easier. Assuming she was mistaken, I said she would have to share location for that to work. And she informed me that she and my wife have that set up 100% of the time. I laughed and said, that's so unhealthy. Got off the phone and asked my wife to confirm, and she said yes. I asked, does that mean the opposite is also true? Are you sharing your location with her 100% of the time? She said yes. I was being snarky because I thought she would agree with me. I said something like, come on, you must think that's weird. Not even when you say it out loud. Anyway, she's furious with me. I'm just being mean. She's crying and I don't know about that though. She's crying and left the house furious with me. Am I the asshole here? I feel terrible about having blundered and upset her, and will definitely apologize with an S so we know what's going on here for the insensitivity as soon as we talk. But please, someone tell me, is the maps thing normal? Am I the crazy one? Trust me, there's more, so I just want to let y'all catch that breath right quick. It don't seem like running out the house in tears level of offense, in my opinion, but
he probably downplayed what he actually said to her.
Like, you're fucking dumb, babe.
See, already I can tell you've missed something, but we'll get you there. Update. Wow, that was an absolute deluge of responses. Truly wasn't expecting to have that much engagement. Posting to hopefully wrap things up here because I really need to stop reading this for a while. Just going to address a couple of things quickly. One, thanks so much for people who came in here sincerely to give me a different perspective on the location sharing thing. My takeaway from lots of people giving their input is that 24/7 sharing is a much more passive activity, whereas I think my experience of using things like dropping a pin or sharing an Uber ride, I think my perception of it is like it's more of an active thing. I get there's a range of perspectives and comfort levels on this, and I'm clearly, I clearly need to make a bit more space for that. Two, this is where I'm saying, Box, I think you might have missed something. I'm a woman. Despite me including in the OP, lots of people did miss the fact that my wife and I are in a queer relationship. Really, no offense taken, offense spelled with a C. It's an easy mistake to make while reading through these quickly. Want to highlight so the people that hopefully anyone who visits this subsequently doesn't get the whole I don't get it because I'm a man conversation. I behaved in the shitty way to my wife. I thought I was clear on the fact that I knew I was the asshole for my response /attitude /how I said it, but I obviously didn't do a great job of that. My focus was more on the location thing, and I definitely saw that my take was definitely in the minority about location sharing. 4, lots of people ask follow-up questions about my wife and mother-in-law and people's health. Backstories with lots of further questions about their relationship, my relationship with parents, etc. I responded to questions about my own relationship with my mom a few places in the thread, but I really get the ick at the prospect of adding more personal info about them. 5, everyone's saying, what if something happens? What if she gets in a car accident? What if all the worst possible things? I respectfully ask all of you to stop it. I've gotten the point you're making, but please stop asking me to visualize the worst possible thing happening to the best person I know. 6, last but not least, I had already apologized on the phone when I posted this. When my wife came home, I apologized again in person, and she was gracious enough to accept my apology. A little later, I told her about this post and told her the internet has decided that I suck, and she was right to have gay. She's right, so that gave us something to giggle about it. Thanks, everyone. XX. This one solved itself. It was whatever. And again, yes, that is an asshole thing to say, man or woman, but in this case, woman. I don't have. Well, me and my mama use two different types of phones, but if we both had the same device that could have sharing enabled, I certainly would have sharing enabled with my mama, because who cares? You want to see where I'm at? Go for it. I got location sharing on with my entire family. Although I did look the other day, and I think Lee had theirs turned off, so they gonna get a conversation. But otherwise. Yeah, it's on. There it is. I can't even lie. It's right there. So that's just, you know, it's like the person just got to when it was all said and done. It's very passive. I'm not looking to see where people are. I tell Vanessa all the time, if she's concerned about my location, it is right there. Look it up. I have it turned on. You got it. And then she's like, well, I wouldn't do that. Like, I know you wouldn't do it, but you have the option to do it. Because if it makes you feel secure and whatever, that's fine. So, what a weird one. I should have read that before I would have known that. Well, you know what? Actually, I don't think it had all this update when I initially pulled this. So, that actually came in due course there. This one, is not actually from Remember the Asshole. It's from Two Hot Takes. Am I the asshole boarding the plane and leaving without my wife? Sorry ahead of time for the length of this one. There's a lot of key details I think are important. I know how this sounds, but hear me out. This is also not my usual account, but I don't want to risk my wife seeing this as it's currently a sensitive subject. Again, I see people all the time saying people know my Reddit name. And I'm like, why do you think people are when y'all use Reddit? Because we all kind of, you know, basically. Are you looking at people's names to see, is this somebody you know who wrote this?
Nah.
No, but I use the same username for most things I do. So if you know me on one thing, you know me on something else. So if I was going to try and if I wanted to anonymously ask the internet if I was an asshole or not, I'd probably make a new account.
Fair enough. There you go. Thank you for that
honesty.
No, not the honesty. It's just that perspective. It's just a perspective I just didn't have. I was just like, I am who I am the internet over. Trust me.
Well, I mean, but if that's the case, like, why would I, like, anonymously ask people if I'm the asshole? Because, like, if everyone knows who I am on everything, then it's not anonymous, you know? It's like, isn't that part of the point?
Yeah. I guess. I didn't think anonymity was necessary in this.
Well, people are always like redacting people's real names and shit, and
so I do that because I mean, you know, we do that based on this show because I don't have their permission to, you know, talk on this show about them. You know what I'm saying? The one time I blocked Chalky's wife's face and she was like, "You trying to say I'm ugly?" And I go, "No, I just, you know what I'm saying? We don't roll like that, and I can't I don't want to just be bringing you on and putting your face out there without, you know, you being aware of it." So that's, you know, that's just how it gets down. You know, but anyway, he don't want his wife seeing this, or they. I don't. Okay, it is a male. It does say male this time. We gotta quit leaping. But my wife, female 43, and I, male 47, have a daughter, female 21, who goes to college out of state. We will call my wife Meg and my daughter Jess. Jess is in her junior year of college. Over the summer, she was employed by her university and was able to stay in the dorms. After summer, she was moving out of the dorms and into her own apartment off campus. Meg and I live in the Pacific Northwest. Jess goes to school on the East Coast. We usually go visit Jess a couple of times throughout the semester. Typically parents' weekends and move-out day. She also comes home during the holidays. Let me start by saying that traveling with my wife is not a great experience. I am very type A. I like to have everything organized and make sure that we get where we need to be early, especially when traveling. My wife is the opposite, very go with the flow and we will get there when we get there. I do my best to meet in the middle, but not when traveling by plane. Last year, during Parents Weekend, Meg and I were going to fly out to see Jess. Our flight was at 10 a.m. Our airport isn't huge, but not a tiny airport either. I told my wife we needed to be at the airport 90 minutes early, and we live about 30 minutes from the airport. This being said, I wanted to leave at the latest by 8, since we would also need to park and walk a little bit. I, of course, got up at 6 to make sure everything was ready and accounted for. My wife does not like to get up early. It took me attempting to wake her up 5 times before she eventually got up at 7:40. Then she wanted to make coffee, shower, and eat a bowl of cereal. Let's just say that we didn't leave the house until 9. It ended up being busier at the airport than normal, likely due to many colleges having Parents Weekend. And it took so long to get through security that we missed the flight. Rightly so, the airline refused to refund our ticket. We were able to get new tickets, but not until the next day, and missed Friday afternoon and Saturday morning with our daughter. Jess was disappointed, to say the least. Fast forward to now. We're flying down for a long weekend to help her move. We take one flight from our town to a bigger town nearby, then fly from there to my daughter's college town. Again, it was a long morning of me pushing my wife to get her to move along due to the last airport mishap. I wanted to make sure. I told her we needed to leave extra early as to not miss the flight again. We got there on time, with a bit of time to spare, and my wife was annoyed. Kept going on about how now we just have to sit and wait for 45 minutes for them to start boarding. What? How?
Has this person never traveled?
Must not have.
We took a look. We took our first flight and landed in the connecting city at a much larger airport. We only had about an hour layover. We got off the plane at 9:15, and our next plane started to board at 9:40. We had to take multiple rails to get to where we landed, from where we landed to our terminal. We got to the terminal and had about 15 minutes until our plane was set to board. My wife tells me she wants to get coffee. There's a little market next to our terminal that sold hot food and coffee. I asked if she wanted me to grab it for her. No, I want Starbucks, she said. Well, Starbucks was probably was a rail away. Basically, you had to catch another, airport train to go get to the Starbucks.
In Atlanta?
And a little bit of a walk. I told her we couldn't do that. We didn't have enough time. She stated that we had enough time and I wouldn't go with her. She would go by herself. I tried to discourage her, but she was determined. She walked away at a brisk pace for her and said she'd be back in time. 15 minutes went by. She's nowhere to be seen. They started calling boarding groups. I called my wife, hoping she was near. She didn't answer. They called a few groups. Then they called ours. In a panic, called my wife again, 3 times. Finally, on the last call, she answered and said she was on her way. It was a long line and she had to wait a bit. I told her they were almost done with boarding and she needed to hurry up. I waited by the gate, but the attendant said they would need to shut the gate in 2 minutes. I waited and waited, but she didn't show up. The attendant asked if I wanted to board. Otherwise, she was closing the gate. I tried to plead with her to wait a couple of minutes, but she insisted that she couldn't, so I boarded the plane. A few minutes later, my wife calls me, and the attendant won't let her get on. They had already removed the boarding ramp at that point. She told me I needed to tell them to let me off the plane to be with her, and I said, no, it's not fair to do this again to Jess. I said, I told you you didn't have time, but she decided to go anyway. I told her to go purchase a new ticket for the next flight, and I would see her when she arrives. She got to Jess's school and seemed unbothered by the whole situation. Didn't even really talk about it. I thought maybe she realized it was her fault and just wanted to drop it. Boy, was I wrong. We're now home and she hasn't talked to me since the trip, over a week ago, and is insisting that I'm an asshole. So am I the asshole? There's an update, but I want to know. You've heard this story now. Is this man wrong?
Man, this is one of those times where like that phrase that the youth says kind of applies. Stand on business.
10 toes down.
Yeah. Because it's like, I get why some people would say one way or the other. And I, like, it's tough because, like, I'm a single man. Like if this was my friend, I'd be like, yeah, you should have been here like you're supposed to be. But I feel like sometimes the rules change when it's your partner, and I don't know if I can speak on that since I'm partnerless. So it's like I'm leaning towards asshole, but like I can see how it's really the wife that's the asshole.
It's crazy because like the right answer is there's no right answer to this because like you know how your wife
You fuck your kid over, you fuck your wife over. Which one's gonna get fucked over here? Now your kid done got fucked over once because of your wife.
I think
so.
When you put it like that, I think he's not the asshole because as wrong as or as right as it may be to say, your kids become more important to you than your spouse. And you know
that's one thing I don't agree with because you have your kids, you choose your spouse, and the fact of the matter is, just like right now, your kids are away at college. Your kids getting further and further away from you. You got to try to stay connected to your spouse. So, this is one thing Gabe told me, and I took it to heart. Like one day you're gonna leave me, and I'm still gonna have to be with your mother. So I still need to be able to get along with her. Like y'all can't put a wedge between us. And the fact of the matter is, there's no right answer to this. Like he damned if he do, damned if he don't. Like, if he was to get off the plane, it's gonna cost him more money. It's gonna hurt his daughter's feelings. If he stays on the plane, he hurts his wife's feelings. But then, like, it's no right answer to this. No matter what he did, he was gonna be wrong.
Well, real Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though about what you said though, is what about the people who are divorced or widowed and start seeing other people, but they don't put their new partner above their children? So it's like it's the same thing here. Just because they're the child's actual birth mother, I still think the statement holds true that like you chose to have those kids.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age where people have that choice, just the same as you chose to have that spouse. And so, the kid didn't choose to be here. The spouse did though. And the kid, if they're expecting you to be there for them, they didn't choose you as a parent, but you chose to have them. I feel like it's your responsibility to make sure that they're taken care of, whether that's emotionally, financially, like teaching them lessons, all that shit. I think they're above the spouse.
I half-heartedly agree with you. Like, I totally see what you're saying, but like he said, he had to go home and deal with that shit for a week with her without her talking to him. Like,
I want you to know how. Again, y'all know your boy. I can, and they know this too because we both hold this one. We can hold a grudge. I can not talk to you for much longer than a week. But I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I told y'all I can't do that no more. I can't be that person anymore. And it's because of my partner is not built for that life. Literally, it would make her insane. And so I'm not allowed to be the person who can just hold a grudge and not talk to somebody for a week no more. I can't even talk to somebody for usually not too much longer than about 15, 20 minutes at this point without probably setting an anxiety attack off, because it's just how my partner's brain works. So the fact is, so I know that you have to be better and do better with your partner. And so this person not talking to you for a week, it kind of tells you everything I need to know and why I think you're not the asshole for having gone to go take care of your kid, because this person seemingly does not care enough about your children, your child together, or you enough to just stay on fucking course. Don't go nowhere when you are doing connecting flights. Who the fuck don't know to not go anywhere? You can't have Starbucks this time around. But in about 2 hours when this plane lands, I'll take you to the biggest Starbucks in the fucking world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like and I know this is kind of like an exaggeration of sorts, but it's like the person abuses you, and then they try to make you feel like it's your fault for the
Yeah,
abuse.
gaslighting.
Like, you know that's irresponsible. It's not just irresponsible, it's selfish as fuck. You have chosen yourself over two people. Over your husband who just told you we don't have time for this. So you know the deal. And over your child who is waiting for y'all to come and visit with them. Yeah. The fuck out of here.
But then the extra part is
hit me one time. Go ahead.
Is that she acted cool in front of the kid.
But you're supposed to, right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, if mommy and daddy are fighting and it's their special day, don't ruin the graduation with mommy and daddy's anger, you know?
No, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of unhealthy to be like, oh, your mother. I don't know. Like, just to pretend in front of the kids. Like, I think it's better to be like, hey, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say real quick and then drop it. But then, because after that, you don't talk for a week. So,
yeah. Again, they're not talking about a week ain't flying. I'd have a fit update.
He should get Starbucks every day and just drinking in front of her.
Well, I know a lot of people say this, but I really didn't think this would get as big as it did. Thanks everyone for the responses. I've been trying to read them in batches when I have time because I've been getting some good suggestions. I want to answer a couple of questions I saw as well as add a bit of extra info. For those outside the USA, P and W is Pacific Northwest. As far as how she acts in other situations, she generally doesn't have any issues. She's never one to be late to work or anything like that, or it just seems like travel is her poor area. I never noticed things like this until we start traveling often to see our daughter. That's why I never considered ADD/ADHD. She really just shows no other signs of this. I saw a post implying that my wife might have an addiction of some sort. I'm not sure how that would line up, but I don't see that being. I don't see how that's a possibility. You saying she went off to go shoot up or something, snort something or whatever. So, I saw a post implying my. Oh no, that's not. I didn't think of following information. The following information was important, but my daughter made a comment, and so did a friend that I discussed this with. So I thought I would just mention it here. Ooh. Hey, he walked away just at this most important time. All right, Box, check this out. Jess is not Meg's daughter. I was married once before, and my wife unfortunately passed away due to complications during Jess's birth. I remarried Meg when my daughter was 6. My daughter made a comment that Meg doesn't want to come to see / help her, and that is why she's always running late. But I have offered to go alone. And Meg was always very against the idea. So I wouldn't think that is the case. Update 2 posting the comment wouldn't allow me to add more. There's an update in the comments. Let me see if I can click on that.
It seems like I had the fucking soul read on that. Wow. I couldn't get the other person's gender, but I fucking nailed this one.
Let me see if I can find their update. Man, there's a bunch of stuff. Well, we're going to go with this one. I can't say that Meg and Jess have had the easiest relationship. Meg always wanted to have another child, but we were unable to conceive. She did make comments that she wanted children of her own, and that caused a little bit of a rift in our relationship at this time. I wanted her to see Jess as her daughter, but they never really had that typical mother-daughter relationship. It was always very much pushed that Jess was my daughter. Meg did make comments about being excited to have an empty nest, but I assumed that was just because we'd have more room. Jess is a great kid, and I never say anything bad about anyone, but she's made comments before stating that she thinks Meg is jealous of her. But this never made sense to me. She has also told me that she doesn't want Meg to come to her school for parents' weekends, and she'd rather spend the time with me or wait for Father's weekend. But Meg always says she wants to go, and I have never gone without her. That being said, I've never seen any negativity directed at Jess from Meg or resentment. maybe I'm just missing something. And yeah, so that basically was the when I started talking. Oh, here we go. It says update biggest day. I just skipped over it. I'm sorry. Update. Hi everyone. Thanks again for the advice. I read as many of the comments as I could and took all the information I wanted to provide an update. My wife finally started talking to me again. When I told her that I wanted to have a conversation about the situation, but I wanted to give it a couple of days for emotions to settle down. Some of the comments here gave me a great idea, and I want to see what she thought about it. For all future trips, I will have my tickets. She will have hers. I typically drive to the airport and leave my car in one of the pay lots, so I would drive myself and she could Uber. She will have all the freedom she wants to do what she wants, but it's up to her to arrive on time and board the plane. I let her know that it was starting to feel like I needed to keep track of both of us. I phrased it in a way to make it sound like I didn't want to be controlling her and let her manage her own time. She wasn't happy with this, but she reluctantly agreed. Now, to get to the bigger issue that I didn't realize we had until reading the comments of the post. Call me oblivious, but I never thought there was any issue between Meg and Jess. After talking to my wife, she wouldn't admit any issues and stated that she would never intentionally delay a flight so that we couldn't see our daughter, and acted offended that I would ask such a thing. If that was her actual purpose, I don't think I would be able to prove it, but it will be at the forefront of my mind in the future. After talking to Meg and Jess, we decided on the following. Meg and I will be visiting Jess on Parents' Weekend, but I will be attending Father's Weekend from now on, and I will be attending by myself to get some time alone with Jess. Jess seemed very excited, and surprisingly, Meg didn't seem to have any issue with it this time. Thanks again for everyone who took the time to read and give advice. I really appreciate everything and hope these steps can work toward a resolution for the issues. And you got up just as we discovered that Meg is not Jess's mother; she's her stepmother. Her mom had died in birth, and he married Meg 6 years later. And so that most people was like, "That bitch jealous. She hating," and
might have been right.
Don't seem like to the opposite of that. I'll tell you that. So
yeah, it sounded like Emery fell out of the bed, but he had just hit the wall. Like,
okay, very good. No worries. Always go check on the youngins. That has been this week's Emma the Asshole. I hope you enjoyed the My Snow. I know I already did. That was the last one was a journey. Eesh. But nah, you good, man. Go check on your baby. You good. That woman was wilding.
Yeah, the listeners we have, we want to hear some of you guys' input on some of these Emma the Assholes, because I mean, sometimes like women's intuition or whatever, like, can probably help out.
Hey, you let me. Like I said, if you hear what we've said, and you are like, y'all wilding or y'all have missed something, please. I like Ann said, let us know. I am certainly open to hearing a perspective that I don't have or something I might just be missing. I try to be clear. I try to read through, you know what I'm saying, and not rush through anything. But hey,
he hit the wall again.
It is what it is. Let's get over to our entertainment selection of the week. I truly have not watched just about anything. I watched a lot of YouTube, but in particular that I want to share with you all. 3 Tiny Desk concerts that came on the YouTube this week. They're already available on NPR's website, but they're available on YouTube now. And over the last couple of weeks, and that is Berhana, Jeezy, and Cartoons. Cartoons might be a new top 5 Tiny Desk for your boy. It is so good. I listened to it like 3 times before. In fact, I was listening to it when I got on tonight. And Box was like, "Why you got music playing?" I'm like, "Sorry, man. I'm on one right now." But there is, bruh. Cartoons is a producer, but he keep linking up with these cool people who just got amazing voices and are amazing musicians. And I would certainly give you the links to each of those here in the show notes. But you go give all 3 of those a listen. They are fantastic. But that Cartoon, Yeah, that's. I have the vinyls up. Vinyls. I guess that counts. The records I currently have up on Discogs in the browser I'm using right now. So I'm like, might be some ordering in my near future just so I can have those on in the collection. So that's what's up with that. Like I said, I hadn't been really watching anything else this week. Still playing The Last of Us Part 1, forgive me. The remake of The Last of Us for PlayStation 5. Where am I at? Just jumped through the window into the restaurant where I will eventually end up confronting David.
Oh, in the cabin. On the resort.
Yeah. So I literally just did that, and just the part where Joe was like, don't worry, I believe him. You know what I'm saying? When he hit that dude with that pipe.
Yeah.
Which is way more graphic in the video game than it was in the TV show. I want you to know that. So, also, having recently seen the show, and now recently played through the game, if you are, of course you are 100% accurate, but you are, I'm saying to you, as my friend, you were 100% accurate that they really took away some of the beastliness of Ellie in the TV show. Unnecessarily, but I get why. TV is weird that way, and you can't have her be such a G. You know what I'm saying? Because you need a little bit of that father. You need her to learn from Joel.
I don't think the two equates. I think you can both have the learning and have the fact that Ellie was on that shit already. Like, she was trained. Like, I think it's...
And we know she was trained by the military, even in the show. So she had military level training. And so they should have just allowed her to be a badass in the show. It's an unnecessary change to the character in the TV show. And
it angered me to no end.
I'm not saying it's for the worse, but certainly not for the better.
I agree. It didn't make it worse, but it didn't make it better. Like, I mean, no, I'm not gonna fucking front. When they made her fall in the snow and get snow in her face, that shit kind of pissed me off because that's not the kind of person Ellie was. Yeah. But I still love both of them.
So, yes. Yeah. So, I'm just, there you guys, what's up with that particular situation. My man, Nick Offerman, won a SAG award this week for his role as Frank in the Last of Us TV show, and it's very dope, and I just fuck with it. I'm listening to, besides those Tiny Desk concerts, this is Jay Worthy and Kamea, The American Dreams, produced by Harry Fraud. Fucking Harry Fraud, long shirt way. This is a limited 200. It's limited to 200 pressing. I have a number 168 of 200, and it's on what I would describe as, I don't know, watermelon vinyl.
Looks real nice,
pink and green. It's very nice. Like I said, one of 200. So not a ton of records. It's also cut at 45, so you play it faster. And it's very good. What I just found out this week, did not know this. I got a couple of Jay Worthy records. Jay Worthy is one, I believe, Northern Indian. 2, Grimes' stepbrother. Like, as in Elon Musk's ex-wife, Grimes. And therefore, he should not be saying nigga by any way stretch of the imagination. But apparently he live in Compton and ride with Bloods and has me be saying nigga all the damn time. And I don't know if I appreciate that on any way, shape, or form. But I can tell you this. He's a gifted spitter. And I respect that part of the fold. But I am not too appreciative that all of a sudden I found out this man is not one of mine and is out here using my turns of phrase. So things I learned about Jay Worthy this man week. Should not be. That's basically what I've been getting down with this week. I don't think I've listened to any. Oh, you know what I saw? I saw it was a podcast on YouTube that I just happened to bump into this morning. It was so random, but it was also very good. It's called Stargazing. It's of course a Star Trek podcast Tawny Newsome, who does a voice in Star Trek Lower Decks, and I cannot remember her name, so let me just grab it so I can tell you her name. The captain, the captain from Star Trek Discovery, Sonequa Martin Green.
The lady that used to be on
was Tawny's.
She used to be on The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Was the guest on the first episode of Stargaze, and they discuss representation. They discuss being Black women in Hollywood and about in relation to the Star Trek, because it's a Star Trek podcast, and I like that Star Trek let them go as far as it let them go, and just a great little. I sent it to my mom, and she was like that, and she should be a little thanks for that. My mom called me last night to ask me if I was watching Halo, Daniel. So I was like, "No, that's Dan's show." So she's aware that you watch it. So, but that's really all I've been getting down with too on the listen watch side of things. Like I said, not a lot of TV. I did listen to Newcomers this week. I'll tell you straight up, I was upset about Newcomers. You know that Dark Knight Rises is my favorite. It's my favorite because actually is my favorite, but also it's like the source. It's like the first date me and Vanessa went on. But I like Zook's on the episode because Zook's had a perspective that I enjoyed to hear from. But things like they did not even discuss powerful tools to the uninitiated. That shit right there has to be discussed. It's too good a soliloquy to just be left on the table to not be discussed. But they also didn't discuss the practical effect, the practicality of what they did at the beginning of that movie. Like I think in their mind they did not understand or did not have it brought to their attention that Christopher Nolan literally flew a plane over another plane and took that plane out the air. That happened. That didn't happen on a green screen. That didn't happen on a back lot. That happened in the air and was filmed in IMAX, because that's the type of filmmaker Christopher Nolan is. And the fact that, like they said, that didn't even get brought up, I feel like they were missing a lot of things about that movie. And then they just wanted to, let's make fun of Bane's voice, which is the weakest of bullshit to me. One, I love Bane's voice. I get why you can make fun of it. They make fun of it all the time. The Harley Quinn cartoon, you can make fun of it, but Tom Hardy's performance in that movie, I'm not saying it's better than Heath Ledger's. I realize whatever I'm saying, but it is more special to me. And it's dope in its own way. And like I said, I just feel like they missed a lot on this particular one because they didn't like it as much. And that's always the way what it is with newcomers. When they don't like something as much, they don't give it the credit it deserves because they didn't like it as much. And there's so much more to be said and seen about that movie. And like I said, it was good to have Zook there because Zook knows his shit. And so if people even were missing stuff, he was there to help kind of back it up and say, here's some things about this. And even he came around and was like, I like this way more than I liked it the first time. Or the last time I saw it. I'm like, it's real. It's an amazing movie.
Yeah, my theory was wrong. I was thinking like usually when they have guests, depending on if the guest likes it, then it seems like they have a better time with it. This is the first time where the guests liked it more, and they still was just like, no. I like the show to a certain extent. I did not. I don't think I still didn't finish the last season.
What was last season?
Was it Marvel?
Was Marvel the last one?
They did Marvel movies last season because before that it was the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's the one they did when Lauren was pregnant. So that they did that. That was her and Gabrus, which I didn't like. I like Gabrus. I like Gabrus, but he doesn't. He's not that show.
Yeah, and plus he's seen everything. He was already a fan, so it's kind of different. But yeah. I enjoyed the last episode more than this one because it seemed like they were into it. Because it seems like if they're like you said, if they're not into it, then they just they gloss over a lot. They get bored and don't pay attention to like little nuances of things, and I don't know why I try with that show sometimes.
I hear you, and so, but. Again, I said I've enjoyed this season, but I enjoy the Batman movies, and so this next they're going to do is Batman v Superman, and they're doing the long version of it, which I don't think I've ever even seen the long version of that. The 3-hour cut, I've never seen that. So we'll see where that goes. That movie was mid to begin with. I don't know what another hour would bring to it, or, 45 minutes would bring to that movie, but maybe there's something that makes that better. But yeah, I never had no greatness for, I love Henry Cavill is a great Superman. Ben Affleck is a kick-ass Batman in the vein of the Dark Knight Batman, like Frank Miller's The Dark Knight, So, but yeah, we'll see how that plays itself out. But what have y'all been watching, reading, the likes of, and so forth?
I got caught up on Halo but I think I have today's episode to watch. I've been playing Halo Infinite, and I forgot, I think, to tell you guys that I watched Echo like a week or two ago.
Okay.
And I got caught up on Invincible.
Did you enjoy Echo? Should I be watching it?
It was okay. Like,
what's that,
I don't
5
know
episodes?
Yeah, it's only 5 episodes. They're like 40-ish minutes each.
Yeah.
I don't know the importance of it in the grand scheme of things.
I don't think it is important. I think it could be important. It'll be a part of Daredevil. So basically, did you watch Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew you did.
No.
So basically, required viewing is Hawkeye. If you're gonna watch Echo, literally they meld together. And so you'd have to go through Hawkeye. And if you weren't trying to watch Hawkeye, I would tell you not to bother with Echo. Just cause. I said I'd never watched Moon Knight, and I didn't watch that Werewolf, but I've watched everything else. Oh, and I didn't watch the latest Ant-Man, and everybody says I'm better for it. So I don't think I'm ever going to watch the latest Ant-Man.
It's not terrible.
So,
I feel like you should. I feel like you should at least watch it at least while you're playing with your phone a little bit.
Fair, but that's what's up with that. Echo, like I said, Echo's pretty good, and pretty good. It's not great. It's not awful. It's pretty good. And so, like Box said, it probably doesn't bring much to the overall MCU, but it probably does bring stuff to their street level stuff, which is Daredevil and those type of characters. So
yeah,
we'll see
it's
how
watchable.
Yeah. Very fun, but pretty much all Native American cast, which is pretty nice. So that's kind of good. I like the actors. I like all the actors in it. So good times. Anything else, y'all?
Well, yes. So
you play your theme music.
Yeah, first let me get out the regular stuff I watched, then I'll say about other stuff. All right, so the book I finished last week was after years of it not being available on Libby, I finished The Color Purple.
Libby.
On Libby. Which, man, I've seen the movie so many different times, and it was good to finally get the whole story.
Okay.
Makes me want to watch the movie kind of again. Not necessarily the musical, but I finished The Color Purple. It was good. I enjoyed myself. So I finished Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We finished Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I would like to know your thoughts on that show.
I enjoyed the last episode. The rest of the season, so it's either their chemistry wasn't good for real in real life, as far as acting goes, or it was purposefully not great because they were bumping heads the whole time, and that was great acting.
Yeah.
Like I said, I liked the last episode. The action is pretty good in it. If I were overall, I would give it a 3.25 out of 5. It was okay. I enjoyed elements. Some elements I didn't. It was okay.
that's another thing I watched this week. I watched my man Centel and his boys they reviewed each episode, and I watched them fall further and further in love with the show as it went on, which was fun to watch because it was basically the same thing. Well, I actually loved it from the word go, but they didn't love it from the word go. But then by the time it got to the end, they was like, "Yo, that was crazy," especially episode 7, because they didn't see it coming. And neither did I, for the record, and then when it happened, I was like, yo, that's wild. So that's dope. I like that he paid his mama to play his mama. Yeah. I think that's so cool. I think it's so cool that his mom played his mom. And I thought was a pretty good actress. I don't know how you felt about it.
Pretty natural. Like, it's easy to play a mom with your mom.
Yeah. So I don't want to say that because, hey, acting is people go to school for that shit. So.
See, okay, and I'll get more into that on my when I talk about
Fair. But I really did enjoy that show. Box, I don't know if you had any idea or concerns with trying to watch it, but I would highly recommend you check out Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's on Prime Video. 8 episodes, they're all there. Damn good show, in my opinion. Donald Glover directed the last episode, in fact, and I think he's a pretty good director too. I think I was like, okay, I see that eye, homeboy. I kind of see what you got going on there, and so I think that was fun.
I always assume that like big name actors that are on shows always just get at least one episode so they can get the name on the direction thing, like kind of like a credit.
He produced it too, so it's his money on it. So Amazon's money, but the money they gave him to produce the show. So, and of course his brother writes on it. The one lady show who's a writer on Atlanta show runs it. So I like all that. And who else? Mina Kimes, because people always say that she looks like the actress who played Mrs. Smith. They say that's your TV doppelganger. She's like, I watched all of it and I loved it. So she enjoyed it as well. So if you fuck with the NFL and know Mina Kimes from ESPN, that maybe that's a good chuckle as well to me. But yeah, I really enjoyed Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Mm-hmm. I keep wanting to start Avatar, but people who love Avatar are mad at Avatar. And I'm like, did I love Avatar or did I like Avatar? And I'm like, I think I liked Avatar. So I think I'll probably be okay with the TV series Avatar. Because I don't think I loved Avatar and watched it with like the sincerity of a child who was like, this was what I grew up on and I loved it so much and y'all fucking up. I don't think I'm going into it with that kind of mindset. I think I know what it is to have a Netflix show that may or may not get another season. So you try to get as much done as you can in as much time as you can. And because I go in it with that kind of mindset, I'm not going to be angry that it's clicking faster than it probably would have had they known ahead of time they had X amount of seasons to work with. So that's all I'm saying.
All right.
You playing anything? Besides, did you get back to your new game plus or RoboCop? Or
actually, I played that. I played a little bit today during. Yeah, I played that for like maybe 20 minutes. Like I haven't been playing like anything at all.
Yeah.
Like we bought this like this 5-in-1 game thing. You got checkers, chess, shut the box, and like this sling game. Like we've been at night we've been playing games and stuff together. Taught Emery how to play blackjack. So like usually I've just been busy doing other stuff because like during the week I'll be doing other things, and when I am like home, like I've been trying to spend more time with the boys and stuff. But like far as going back to my list, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Let's say rest in peace to Richard Lewis, who was just he was just on like episode like I think last week or yeah. So I know that he was part of that, and a loss to the comedy community, even though he hasn't like really been doing comedy too much these last few years because of health problems. But rest in peace to that dude. And far as this week's my Tubi views,
And be a bitch and not play off the good
To
one.
be or not to be? That's the question.
All right. So
Question. I love how he says it.
So it's funny, like I've been going through a lot of Tubi movies lately, and you said how about good acting. It's funny how like it's you don't run across it a lot, but you'll run across some of these Tubi movies, and it'll be, say for example, it's a cast of 7, and then they'll have like one legit actor in it, and I'm like, man, was this dude always a bad actor in real movies, or is it like the script bad and some of the stuff? Because like, I think it was the movie I seen where it was everybody was kind of like day-to-day players, and they'd be like, "Oh, we got Columbus Short because Columbus Short ain't in regular movies no more," or what's that dude's in that? His name was Jason, the dude that played Eazy-E. Like he's been in a lot of low budget movies now that Hollywood's not calling. So I'm like, somebody in Clifton Powell, which is like notorious. He's in a whole lot of movies. He played Pinky and Next Friday. He'll be in those movies too. Like I said, and some of these people will be no names, and he's acting against them, and they'll be terrible too. So that's a question for the ages. What's more terrible, the writing or the actor? But what I watched this week on Tubi is Hood Riches. I will give that one I give that one like a 2.5. Some of these movies just like they be like writing themselves into a corner and be like, you know what we gonna do? We gonna Tubi continue this bitch, and then we'll write the rest later. Connected Through Blood. Now this one was a doozy. So it was a daughter and a mother and a stepfather, and the stepfather ended up sleeping with the daughter and get the daughter pregnant, and then she like couldn't live with her mother no more, so she lived with her boyfriend. Then it turns to find out the original stepfather is the boyfriend's real father, and then the guy that was selling the boyfriend drugs ended up being the daughter's real father, and it was just like a roller coaster that didn't need to happen. I still give it 3 stars because, man, it's this Tubi. Then I watched this show called Big Bruh, where it's Killer Mike doing the voice of a cartoon. I think it was a football player, if I'm not mistaken. And he signs up to be a big bruh to a little sister. And it was kind of weird politically. Killer Mike boy. Then I watched one called Rose Gold. This one ended kind of badly for me. I don't know why she ended up she was wanted to get out the stripping game, and she ended up like doing the front of a store and then got arrested. That didn't make no sense. And last but not least, because I didn't finish it yet, I'm watching Black Man Don't Cheat. This one is very interesting for a couple of reasons. Because Black Man Don't Cheat, but also like most of these movies are shot in Detroit, and this one, the guy's a businessman, and he's going back and forth from Detroit to Cleveland, and like they keep on saying like he was like, man, I'm gonna buy this business in Garfield Heights on Turner Road. I'm like,
oh, you got specific like that.
That was his exact words. It was like, no, we're not gonna make it a bar. We're gonna make it a restaurant. I was like, is there any new restaurants on Turney that I don't know about? But it's like that kind of shit is like, because like the exteriors, of course, we've been to Detroit a few times, but at the same time, Detroit looks a lot like Cleveland, like as far as building goes, and so that's always kind of interesting. But this one was really interesting when they just like flat out like when he cheating on his wives, like he be kicking it in Cleveland, and using it as a front. So I really enjoyed that. So I guess my pick of the week is Black Men Don't Cheat on Tubi.
Fair.
Just for selfish reasons, though.
All right. Well, there you go, people. That's a good across the board bit of everything in the realm of television and movies and video games and the like and so forth. You got a little bit of him, the asshole. You got a good show, a good meal, and it came with a slice of cantaloupe at the end. If you know that joke reference, you holler at your boy. You know the deal. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Go join us over on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I try to get the audio version of the show up. It actually does pretty good numbers over there. People seem to listen to the show on YouTube, which is nice. If you want to support the show financially, you got a few bucks tossed our way. Consider joining us over on Patreon. Remember, it's the $5 above tier. Get extra content each month, including video versions of the show. I'm working on the video version of last week's episode because it got a little hinky because we had a hiccup with a video. So, but it'll be done soon and it'll be up. My apologies to my patrons for that. With that one coming a little later than normal. But again, I'm doing the editing myself, so you got to forgive me. I'm not perfect yet. But you know what I'm saying? Get on in with that, man. We have a good time over there, and we post a bunch of stuff. So. Hope you're enjoying that. We also got merch over tpublic.com/users/stage milk on work. Check it out. It's the new logo on a new shirt right here. Me, I'm wearing it. Also, hold on. It's got a Parker Cast sweatshirt.
Oh,
nice. Also, I had a bunch of stickers, but they're over in the other room now, so I could have showed you guys the quality of the sticker. But yeah, we out here, man. Consider copping some gear. As it turns out, I get about $2 per shirt. If you're wondering what my cut is, it's not great. Not a great cut. But I'm not in it for the money making portion of the program. I actually just want people rocking our gear in these streets. And like I said, this one, look how big that logo is. That logo is massive across. I'm a big ass dude, so you see how much logo you get for on your shirt. And then this logo, at least on the sweatshirt, is tiny and kind of ticked me off. I was like, I went to go looking like, did I have that set at the wrong size? Nope, they just printed small on it because I have a T-shirt with the podcast logo on it, massive, kind of like this one. So if you want to see it big, you get the T-shirt. If you don't mind it being a little smaller, but then that's not true because I also have a SKiM logo hoodie. I got a couple of SKiM logo hoodies, and it's big on there too. I don't know. T-Public, bro, they wildin', but also turn the bitches inside out, wash them on cold before you wear them and dry them so everything sets. Because there you go, I'm telling you. Looks nice. I think it looks nice. I don't know if y'all.
I like the podcast blue. That's a nice hoodie.
Thank you. I got that there in the royal. Man, I got another hoodie, man. It's in the other room. Vanessa bought me from the Mythical. She got me a couple of Mythical shirts, and she got me the. I love lesbians hoodie, but it's got shiny writing, and she also got me a Cotton Candy Randy t-shirt. Yeah, fuck a Cotton Candy Randy. If you get down with Mythical, you know what it is. Plus, it's my man Jordan Morris from Jordan Jesse Go. So, I get down with the get down on that one. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. Feel free to give us a call or message us there. I guess I should have checked before I started doing this show if anybody had done that. Oh, it would have popped on my phone. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody has hit us up on the old message. But that's what's up with that. Somebody tried to log into our Instagram account, so I had to slap the 2-factor on that bitch today. So, I had to lock down our the SKiM IG today because apparently. So I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I could do that.
Somebody really wanted to sell some Ray-Bans.
I guess. Yeah, that's exactly what it ended up being, don't they? Because they be stealing access and be trying to hustle other things on it. But worry not. It's ours. It's us. It's locked down and secure. And that's how we get sound to get down. Thanks for hanging out with us. You know what I'm saying? Kicking it with us for a little bit this week. That is my homeboy, the 216's on Tatum.
Not much of a gordita man.
Not much of a crispinata man either for reasons. That is the homie Lunchbox 2099. If you ever in a car accident, just keep him in the back pocket, ready to fucking be there if you need him.
I'll stare a hole through a motherfucker.
Laser sharp, motherfucker. That's what's up. Also, the cops never said nothing to Box. You know what I'm saying? Never said, never. Like I said, oh boy, really was just hopping mad, and he wanted to be angry, and his lady was just super like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, we good, lady. Chill. It's vibes. I understand. It is scary when accidents happen and so forth, especially probably like it's seemingly their first. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, racially ambiguous men be wilding in Canada, it seems like.
Yeah. I don't know what he thought was about to happen, but I was like, sir, I will throw you into traffic. Get the fuck out of here.
I think you better think about who you're talking to.
Yeah. I am, of course, the internet's Taylor 713. Don't make me throw you into traffic. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.